I was 12 years old when I learned my first scripture, John 3:16. Tim Tebow led the charge, OT in Denver, but it was heard throughout the walls of the Sistine. Millie's watching him up on a stage, and everybody looked it up. I like to think the good he did with all the fame, and I wanted to join the club. See, it wasn't about the Super Bowl and all the spoils, but the messages it sent. He spread the word to foreign soils. People who never felt love for the first time. I'm hoping maybe I could do that through little songs and stupid rhymes. I watch my friends get married. They're making beautiful baby girls. They're buying homes, creating life, changing the world. And I can't help but think that I am not enough. Like, when's that happening to me? I can't be seen, I can't be loved. But then it hits me. Proverbs 14:30. Envy causes problems, kills your peace and turns you dirty. So I could only focus on developing myself. Like, there's a reason for these cries. I stop the lies and offer help. I work with cards that I am dealt. I share these stories, mental wealth. When you embrace all your mistakes and bear your cross, pain kills itself. Like, there's a reason for your trials. There's a reason for your passions. There's a reason why you learn the consequence of all your actions. You do not know right now, but later you'll understand that he put you through those things so you become a better man, and you'll be thankful. I'm so thankful, but I can't lie. I struggle with faith sometimes, and I ask why. I question his work some nights. I try to look up when I feel stuck. I try to look up, and I put my faith in it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cuestacast. How's everybody doing out there on this Wednesday, July 1st? We made it to July. It's pretty damn hot. Episode number 15. How's everybody doing? David, you're not on screen because it's hot as balls in your house, and you are currently shirtless, and nobody wants to see your sausage nipples.
Pretty much, yeah. It's hot as fuck in my house. My AC went down, so I just don't want to be on screen either way because I'd just be sweating, and it just wouldn't look right.
I mean, if we had any of the ladies watching, they might be happy to see that.
I don't know about all that.
But either way, we appreciate everyone that's watching, wherever you're watching from. We just saw Nate dropped in. He's at a family function, and we appreciate you for just dropping in and saying hello, Nate. Thank you very much. But wherever you're watching from, YouTube, X, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, smash the like button, subscribe, do all that good jazz because you're nice and you like us and you better fucking do it. And that's just all I got to say. But either way, it's been a few weeks since we've had a guest, David.
Yeah.
And before we get to our guest, Dave, why does Ecuador suck so bad?
I don't want to talk about them, dude. It's just disappointment. I expected that result last night. So
well, here's the thing. It was really 1-0, right? Because that first goal was offsides. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't care if you're kicking it from your
really
defensive half. It was offsides. It was clearly offsides. It was 2 steps off.
But the thing is, either way, Ecuador just played piss poor. They looked like they were sloppy and lazy and just didn't want to be there. It just doesn't really matter to me, mainly because Ecuador just looked like shit. So I don't care.
I also think Azteca should be banned from playing there because I'm pretty sure they pump sound into Azteca. Fuck that place. Anyway, but right now, United States up 1-0 against Bosnia. So hopefully that continues to be the result there. And if I'm looking down, it's because I'm gandering at it. So we'll just update you if anything happens. But this week, we're excited to bring on this gentleman. He's someone, been trying to have him on for a while. There's been, when you're trying to send messages, it's never easy because half the time, X is like, yo, this person's spam. Fuck that guy. And they'll like shove you into a folder. And it's like, all right, I guess so. But because our boy Mugen, we sat there and we complained to him. He's like, yo, I'll help you out. So let's bring him on. He is Leon from Words of Paradise. What's up, Leon?
Shout out to Mugen. Mugen is a great dude. I've been friends with Mugen for a few years now. I love that dude. And yes, without him, I would not even know. I rarely check that spam folder because it's always filled with OnlyFans bots, dude.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, fake titties. So it's like, I don't even check this box. And Mugen's like, yo, these guys messaged you like a week or two ago. Mind you, this is like a month ago. And it's like,
yeah,
man, I don't see. Oh, god damn it. I bet it's in the. And I scrolled through all the fake titties. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Well, if Mugen says you're good people, then you're good people. I'm in. Let's do it.
Thank you. And it's funny because I messaged you, God, it has to be almost a year ago. And you did respond back because I saw you because James and Kay, who we're but
I love the Melee as well. They are great. You surround yourself with good folks.
Yeah, they're awesome. And they've been on a few times. And it was when they just brought back Melee Madness, but it was about a year ago when they were still doing Melee Madness. And they were doing one of the topics. And I saw you jump in and I was like, Leon's fucking hilarious. So I went and I watched your channel a little bit. And I was like, gotta invite this dude on. And then I did. And you're like, hey, I just want to see what your page is about. And then
my God, I totally forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah. And I sent you the link. And then at that point, I was like,
in my defense, for the last year, actually it was July of last year, I started doing this for a living. Once you start doing it for a living, your inboxes start to get a whole lot more full.
Yeah. So we have Matt Stanford coming in saying, who invited the gay Vital Idols? Hail Leona.
Shout out, Matt. How you doing, homie?
I love it. So we're going to have a fun episode because as we were talking pre-show, I feel like we have a ton in common, which is sometimes good and sometimes bad because even if you have a ton in common because you're passionate about the same shit. So we might either have a kumbaya session or we might end up wanting to kill each other. But in the end, it's going to be
fair, I love both of those. Look, man,
they're
I don't
both
know about y'all. I grew up in the comic shops, the nerd shops, trading card games, the whole nine. And I love just breaking down my buddies, playing some Magic the Gathering, having fun. But I also really like getting in each other's face and going, what the fuck do you mean Superman can beat Goku? Or you know what? Yourself. Like,
the whole purpose is to argue. The whole purpose is to argue. That's a fun part of it.
That was the beauty of, the run up to the new David Cornsweat Superman, right? It was the run up to that. And even though a lot of people were disappointed and disliked it, we're not talking about it being
a defender of it on the lead up. I had to eat crow. I was a defender on the lead up. I had to take a L.
But we're not talking about it being woke and gay and bullshit in a lot of ways. That one, not at least.
Right.
At least
That one was just, it's
off that. And that's fine. Now, unlike Supergirl, which is balls, which we
did not even see it. I've gotten to the point where, like, if it's a movie I know I'm going to dislike, because I don't really cover a lot of movie stuff on my channel anymore. It's anime and video games almost exclusively. I cover other stuff now and again, a lot of political stuff.
What up, Cat?
Movies. Yeah, as a cat. Hey, I need you to.
No, a cat can hang out. We love cats here.
We can come on the other side though, where he's not getting in the way of my camera. You can come here, but come from the other side. But no, it's like at this point, my time is more valuable than money. And if I'm going to spend like 2 hours at the theater, plus the 20-minute drive there, plus the time for the trailers, plus the drive back, it's like, what could I be doing in that 2.5 hours, that 3 hours instead? Now with Superman, with Cornsweat Superman, I was interested. I wanted it to be good. I'm a huge Superman fan. I love Superman. He is probably my second favorite superhero of all time after Spider-Man. But I had to take it out. I think he could have been a great Superman if that movie just wrote him, like fucking Superman.
Yeah, like Cornsweat himself is actually, I think, a decent, like a pretty good casting for
earnest
Superman.
and sincere, and that's just they didn't write the character that way.
And I think James Gunn's the atmosphere he created, making it bright, making it hopeful, making it look more like, because we got all the dark and gritty Superman, which I actually enjoyed. Man of Steel.
I do too. I'm a Snyder bro. I am a full minute. I'm a Snyder bro.
I'm not a Snyder bro. I think he's okay. I think for me, if you have to release your own cut for your movie to just be watchable, then it was never a good movie. Like, I'm tired of people being like, the Snyder cut makes it okay.
To be fair,
it's a balls movie.
But it does, like, especially not even the Snyder. Well, I mean, I like the Snyder cut, but Batman v Superman, that's 40 minutes of cut content, which completely changed the story. That is some studio bullshit. Now, I am a Snyder bro. Snyder's put out bad movies. He's put out a lot of bad movies. I ain't gonna defend him. I'm not one of those Snyder bros.
But here's the thing, Leon, you can't fix, I hate you, but your mom's name is Martha. We're best friends. Like, mine is too. Like, you can't
those
fix
movies
that.
are also not without flaws. Don't get me wrong. They're absolutely not without flaws. I've actually, growing up a comic nerd, I hate most comic book movies. They've even a lot of the stuff in the like phase 1 through 3 MCU, I don't like, because to me, it's not the the comic stuff that I wanted, or I think it's done well or whatnot. Now, phase 1 through 3 MCU has at least a lot more going for it than a lot of modern stuff. But I've always been like super hypercritical of superhero movies. I'm that level of autistically nerdy. It's like, man, I think I was 6 or 7 years old when Sam Raimi's Spider-Man came out, and as much as I love those movies, I was always like, what the fuck is webs organic? Why?
I was pissed.
Even as a 7-year-old, that pissed me off.
See, I was pissed. I was like, why does Sam Raimi keep killing his biggest rivals? Like, that's what bothered me. It's like,
because at the time that was normal for superhero movies.
Yeah.
Tim Burton kills off the Joker in the first movie. Like, I also hate that, by the way. I'm with you.
Like,
I don't
stop
like
killing them. Like, they are there for a reason. And like the Joker is arguably the greatest adversary anyone has ever had because he's a perfect foil to Batman. Even though I'm not like a big like Batman fanboy.
Yeah, I actually don't like Batman. I love the Batman mythos, the world, Gotham, all that. Batman's a character I don't like. That's not a Superman fan.
I'm a Nightwing guy, so when in that
Nightwing
world,
is
Nightwing,
my man.
even though they
Nightwing
made
is
him
a
fucking
better
gay
man
now.
with Batman not powers. You know what I mean? Yes, I
Yeah.
love Nightwing. Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay, but it's like it just overall like there's the thing with phase 1, phase 2, etc. At least my whole standard for any superhero movie is because I am like I have back there the original Civil War. Civil War is by far my favorite thing besides maybe the Infinity Gauntlet
It's my
that's ever been
second
done.
favorite comic of all time. I think
It's
Maximum
so good.
Carnage is my favorite, but Civil War is my second.
And with Civil War, I went and collected all of these side stories because
I
they
did
have like
too. Even the
23
fucking
side
Howard the
stories.
Duck ones.
They're
Like,
so good, right? But they're all great. But for me, I looked at it and was like, okay, they're never going to do it fully with the registration system and all that. And they're not going to make it around Spider-Man, which the whole entire Marvel universe actually turns around Spider-Man. So I was okay with that. And
in
my
fact,
thing
when they
was,
announced Civil War as a movie, this was before the deal had even gone through that Disney could use them. So I was like, how are you
Yeah.
going to do Civil War? That's
Yeah.
you cannot do Civil
You
War without
can't.
Spider-Man.
but my thing was with all the comic book things and up to phase 4, as long as in your story, it feels like the character I know and love would do the actions that they're doing, I'm okay with it. So it's like, even though the Iron Man stories, they were not what I knew from the comic books, they really, really fucked up Mandarin. Like that bait and switch actually pissed me off because Ben Kingsley would have been a great Mandarin too.
I agree he would have. Also, this might be a hot take. I don't particularly like Iron Man even in the comics. So
he's
That's
a
fair.
C tier superhero.
he's not-
he
Yeah.
really is
He
a C
wasn't
tier.
anyone,
Yeah, all the ones besides Thor that they pushed forward are B and C tier. Even Cap is
Thor
B
is,
tier.
Thor is my favorite solo
Thor
film.
is A tier.
You like the first Thor and the first Ant-Man. When it comes to all the solo films, those are my two favorites.
Yeah, they're so friggin' good. So it's like, and this is where DC pisses me off because DC tried to rush everything, right? Like Marvel
Yep.
took their time over 8 years to basically get you to know these characters. And then when they made the Avengers, they brought in the humans, which we were fine with because ScarJo and Leather, no one's mad about ScarJo and Leather. You introduced her in Iron Man 3 and she's a smoke. And then they made Hawkeye awesome. Like he was like he knew he was a human, he knew his limitations, and he just kept up and he stayed in his lane. So where DC was like, well, that worked, so let's just make Justice League.
And I will say
it's like,
that is absolutely a Warner. Not to keep being a Snyder apologist, but that is a Warner Bros. Problem because Snyder had several like individual film treatments laid out, and there's like, no, don't do this. It's gonna take too long. Like rush to Justice League, rush to Justice League. I think Snyder's universe could have been great. I'm a straight up
It
Man
could
of
have
Steel
been.
apologist. I love Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, I love Man of Steel
some
too.
issues in terms of Superman's characterization. I get a lot of people don't like Dark and Gritty. I do love Man of Steel, and I just recently reviewed on my buddy Nick's channel. We reviewed the OG 1978 Superman, which I hadn't seen in years. I love that movie. I hadn't seen it in years, and I did not realize just how. After rewatching Superman 78 and then looking back on James Gunn's movie, it is so blatantly insulting because you talked about the bright and hopeful aesthetic, and that's all it is. It's an aesthetic because when you look at actually the dialogue that's being said, the way the characters are written, everything, it's like, oh, so everything being bright and shiny is just there to trick you into thinking it's hopeful and positive when it's actually not. It's incredibly cynical, incredibly insincere, and just after rewatching the Reeve movie, I'm so hurt.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Is like with Gunn's Superman, he doesn't really change from Clark Kent to Superman.
He doesn't
become a man. Like Superman he's a leader. He takes care of things. He's not really this like, this gullible guy or anything like that. No, Superman takes care of things.
Clark is as a put on.
Yes.
Superman is not.
Yeah.
Yep. And another thing, just to go back to Justice League a little, number one, they picked the wrong black superhero, okay? Because everyone in our generation grew up with John Stewart as Green Lantern. You would have given us a proper John Stewart. There's your representation, and that's our Green Lantern. Yes, we like Hal Jordan. We know him from the comics. But if you're talking about the cartoon Justice League, that John Stewart's our guy. And we love John Stewart and everything he stood for, even though in the new Lanterns, they make John Stewart a piece of shit. But still,
yes, they do.
We love John Stewart, and if they would have just given us that, plus keeping Ezra Miller around after he's a pedophilic rapist, like I'm not trying to mess with that guy.
So I can say whatever the fuck I want on this show.
For the most part, yeah. Outside of getting us kicked off of guidelines,
most people don't. So it was like I always try and temper the way I speak, like on other people's shows for the first time. You're like pedophilic rapist. It's like, oh, we're good. All right.
No, I don't give a shit. I don't care. We're not big enough to care. But just with Ezra Miller, like, you have to get rid of that guy. Like he
Agreed.
is the one thing is, and he's a shitty Flash too. He's not even a great Flash.
I also agreed.
So there was DC just had a lot going
What's
wrong
with
for them.
brunch?
Fuck yeah, it had a lot going wrong. Aquaman was okay. Jason Momoa can only play Jason Momoa.
Like I like what the Justice League cartoon back in the day did with Aquaman, made him Jack, give him the long hair, whatnot. But to me, that's still not Aquaman. Aquaman, he's clean cut. He's got the blonde hair. I don't like the Aquaman movie. Don't like Momoa as Aquaman. I do like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I know she's a terrible actress, but she visually fits. The first
one, they could have went
movie.
forward with her. That version of Wonder Woman, me and my wife, and this is when my wife really liked the superhero movies too. We went and saw the first one, and I'm like, if DC's smart, Wonder Woman takes a lead for a little while because that was from the action to the story to the execution. Everything about Wonder Woman, her chemistry with Christopher Pine and that was
so
great.
Killing him off, Change of the Times. That was a mistake. Now I will say my issue with Wonder Woman was Act 3 was so obvious because like when they very first introduced the guy that plays that was later revealed to be Ares, it was like, oh, I bet that's Ares. And then we get near the end of the movie, I'm like, okay, that's so obvious. Maybe that's actually not what they're gonna do. Maybe, and then that is like, oh fuck. And so I love the first 2 acts of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but it's just out of everything going on at that point, though, that was the best out of the group. And then they do 1884, and it's like, all right, we're done here. Like, we're out. Like that movie was miserable. So, but oh man, I'm happy that you were on the same brainwaves with us on a lot of things. I want to get to some of these comments here. Matt Stanford coming in saying, just saw the invite, figured, what the hell? Playing Final Fantasy. I'm terrible at Roman numerals. 14. While this is going on in the background, a great Final Fantasy, by the way. Little Miss Anonymous coming in. Meow to y'all. Here to give
what up, LMA?
Thank you, Little Miss Anonymous. Appreciate that. Get an LMA there. What's up, LMA? And then they're talking back to each other. I got to get better at that. Sometimes I'm like, they're just bantering. Matt Stanford coming in. Rule number 1 of Sam Raimi movies: don't fall in love with your favorite character. Odds are they're going to die. Yeah, it's basically George R.R. Martin of movies.
Sam Raimi is actually my favorite director. But yes, no, you're entirely correct. That's always been his career, Matt. Like,
he's really good. Sam Raimi's really like, and the thing with Sam Raimi is though, and what was great about especially the first Spider-Man, that is a horror film. The first Spider-Man with Willem Dafoe is so good at that shit.
When he breaks into Aunt May's house, Aunt May's house while she's praying, he's like screaming at her to finish it, and she's like, "Don't ever us." Like, dude, you get in Spider-Man 2 with the scene where they're trying to solve the tentacles because Sam Raimi is a horror director at the end of the day, but he's
arguably Spider-Man 2 is arguably the greatest superhero movie of all time.
I make that same argument. It is arguably. There's some other things I will accept as arguments, but to me, I say Spider-Man 2 dog walks the Dark Knight. It does. It dog walks the Dark Knight. But I think Batman Begins is actually the best in that trilogy.
I'm with you. Holy shit. Yes, Batman Begins is the best out of the trilogy. David, I think you agree as well. But on top of that, I think I also look back. Blade is as good as a comic book movie as you're going to find. Blade, Constantine, with a little bit of flaws, is a fucking great comic book movie.
It's definitely Constantine's a very good movie. It is a bad Constantine movie in terms of like social accuracy and stuff, but I love Constantine. Constantine's a very good movie on its own its own merits.
I know Keanu Reeves for the past 15 years has been pushing to do a second one where they delve more into Constantine's powers, and
I would love to see that.
Because he's a master exorcist with existential powers. Like he is quite.
I feel like the Constantine movie was actually just really good, aesthetically pleasing movie. Like so many shots in that movie are so nice to look at, and like there's so many times where a character comes in, it's just like you already know that they're awesome. You already understand what this character is about, and you feel them.
I think it was probably the first movie where I ever saw Shia LaBeouf die, and I didn't realize what a treat that would be going forward throughout.
and I do have to say, it's another one of those movies where you have a lot of big name actors and actresses in there, and it's a side comic book, obscure character not many people know, and they played their fucking asses off. Every single name there. It's one of the best devil.
Everybody talks about. What's his name? Peter Stormare as Luke, and it's so good. Like he is possibly my favorite movie devil of all time.
Yeah, it might be the best version of the movie devils. Yeah, 100%. But I mean, there's so many good ones. I think too.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou does it pretty good too, though. I will say I do like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou as movie devil.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou.
That lawman you see in the background with the sunglasses, and because you don't see too much of him. He's
I mean, you could even go with Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino. Al Pacino.
Devil's Advocate
as
well. Keanu Reeves has done a lot of movies with the devil.
Yeah, for some reason.
And he seems like one of the purest men you'll ever meet. Like he's like such a nice fucking guy. Maybe that's why, because he can resist. Maybe he should be Joker. He might be the only one that doesn't go crazy.
Oh, I like the idea of a Keanu Reeves Joker. I've always pulled for Willem Dafoe, but now I think he's too old for it. Unfortunately,
Willem Dafoe could be a good Riddler. I think Willem Dafoe would give me Keanu Reeves Joker in like Batman Beyond.
Anywhere.
That's true. Yeah,
he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, why did Boondock Saints 2 suck? Because no Willem Dafoe.
I've actually never even seen Boondock Saints 2.
It was terrible. It was made for TV. It was so bad.
Oh, I didn't know that. I remember for a long time Netflix was really pushing it. Like this was in like 2010 or something when Netflix was first getting into like streaming over sending out DVDs. It was like, there's a sequel? Whatever. And I didn't watch it. I watched Devil May Cry instead.
Oh, DMC's so good. But there's so many things about the first movie that if you just had someone sit in on certain scenes, they'd be like, what the fuck are we watching? But you have to watch it in totality, right? Because one of the best scenes, and spoiler alert, if you have not seen Boondock Saints yet, I don't fucking care, is when they're getting wasted and then all of a sudden the cat fucking gets shot. You just someone come in and watch that. No one's going to know what you're watching, but it's like you have to watch it.
Yeah, it's almost like a Guy Ritchie movie. Like when Guy Ritchie's good, like Lock, Stock, and oh my God, the better one.
I haven't seen many. I've seen Guy Ritchie movies without knowing they're Guy Ritchie. Probably.
I'm blanking. Oh my, it's gonna bother me now. Jason Statham. Okay, that's the actor's name. Jason Statham. Snatch from 2000.
Snatch.
That movie is
a really good movie. Jason Statham was awesome. So let's get to a few more of these comments here. Matt Stanford, ScarJo in the catsuit, heavy sweating. Yeah, actually, right now I need to stop thinking about it. I'm a married man. Caveat ties. Jon Stewart's okay. Got crazy after he retired. God damn it, Caveat. Fucking Jon Stewart.
Living up to his name. Jon Stewart's okay, but with the caveat.
Hey, did it. Speaking of comic books, Caveat Ties has been working on a comic book with Crimson Titan, which he's an author. He's written 3 books. I have his namesake right here, getting some free press right there. Caveat Ties. Nice. That's written by the man, the myth. So if you want to read some good comics, he sent me a part. It's like a future noir type of thing. It's really nice looking. The aesthetic.
Now it's a future noir type thing, and that it's actually noir, or this is just in black and white, and they call it noir like that.
No, it's a noir. It's noir-esque. I don't think it's like full on, but
people don't realize there's like actual things within genre writing that make something noir beyond just like, oh, it's gritty and black and white. It's like, no, there's more. You need to be able to hear inner dialogues, and there needs to be very like character driven. Spider-Man Noir is not noir, for example.
As much as the Spirit kind of missed, it did the noir thing. I didn't think the Spirit was a great noir movie, but it at least was a noir movie.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like Sin City is noir because you get those inner Sin City.
Blade Runner is noir.
Blade Runner. Yes. Junebug May Cry saying, hey, thanks for the link. I love that name.
I posted in Discord. I figured maybe some of my crew would show up and you get to listen to a couple of new voices that may or may not agree with me, because it's always great to have different opinions. But never mind. Let's just say we're just going to agree a lot, which is even better.
Caveat saying Jew-bugs have been crazy here. When they hit our windows, it sounds like rain. They probably taste good. Crazy. Eat one. Wow. Caveat Ty saying yes, Batman Begins is the best one. Matt Stanford coming back saying, we all know Spider-Man 3 is the best of the franchise. # emo
I love Spider-Man 3. I've always loved Spider-Man 3.
Bully Maguire.
See, Spider-Man 3 to me, where I did not like the Venom rendition. I was not.
Oh, I didn't. And Raimi didn't want to do Venom. He's like, I didn't grow up with Venom. I was reading comics in the 70s and 80s. I don't know who Venom is. And the studio forced it. But people are always like, oh, Bully Maguire, emo Peter. Dude, the symbiote accentuates your worst characteristic.
Yeah, 100%.
So when Peter's, got the symbiote suit, that is how he would add, be like all hot and
he did it in the comic.
And hottie, and exactly. So it's like people can hate that all they want. That's comic accurate.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they really missed the chance to do like the 1990s cartoon. Once the symbiote went off Peter,
whole arc the best.
Yeah, but because my favorite comment every time Peter would try to hit Venom with the web, Venom would always be like, such low class webbing. Like they really missed an opportunity for that.
I agree.
Matt Stanford coming back. Constantine was such a great movie. I'm cautiously optimistic about the sequel. I'm always hesitant about sequels with such massive time gaps. Couch. Terminator 3. Cough, not couch. But also on... he did write couch, but it's cough. Anyway, I agree with that because what did we get? Matrix 4 wasn't good at all. And that's Keanu. As much as we love Keanu, Matrix 4 was terrible. And I will say John Wick 4 wasn't very good.
Every John Wick has gotten exponent like worse story wise, sequel by sequel. But fuck, man, the action's so always so good.
Yeah, it becomes.
I'm so impressed by the choreography and by like it's the first John Wick is legitimately an incredible movie. Second one's still pretty good, but from the second on, you kind of just throw them on while like you're cooking, you're doing dishes or whatnot. Like, I like this part, you know.
Yeah, I still haven't seen 4. But they just become more cartoony.
4 is a video game. Like John Wick 4 is a video game you don't play.
Yeah, it can be fun, but like yeah.
And the thing is, it's like the Continental was such a cool concept, and then they just totally fucking broke it, right? So it's like,
did you ever see the show, The Continental?
No, I decided
it was good.
Was it actually good?
The show, The Continental, was really good. Yeah, it's Ian McShane. Obviously, it's not actually Ian McShane, but it's Ian McShane's character as as like a young teenager when he's like first encountering the world of Continental. It does so much for the world building. I can't sing that show's praises enough.
I haven't seen Ballerina, but I haven't
either.
I heard it wasn't a bad movie, but it's just that Ana de Armas or whatever her name is just wasn't believable. And like she didn't do a bad job. Like she did not do a bad job. She obviously worked her ass off to get the martial arts right, but it's just that she's there to be hot and she wasn't a super believable. So it's not like it wasn't a fault of her own. It's just a little bit too far outside of her zone as an actress, which that happens. But I mean, we'll see there. So Caveat Ties coming up with some more. No, it's a guy who wants to be an old gumshoe detective in an apocalyptic future Z. Okay, I was completely wrong. I listen, on my defense, I read like the first 10 pages. Like it's been a while now since you sent that to me, Rollin. Thanks for fixing it because I'm an idiot. Matt Stanford, I was in the middle of a dungeon. Speed typing will result in typos. Well, I mean, you never type in the middle of a dungeon. That's a rule. You got to go the Henry Cavill route. When you're on a raid, you tell the biggest studio on the planet to fuck off about being Superman because you're in the middle of a raid. Junebug May Cry saying 3rd was okay. 4 was funny. I feel like John Wick's also, you're going to have to go back. And once they're all said and done, probably just sit down and watch 1 through 4 because they're all one movie. It's one continuous movie. Like 2 picks up where 1 ends. 3 picks up. So it's like you don't stop. It's not like there's a beginning and end. 4, there's a definitive end. It's not definitive, but definitive enough. So I feel like you have to go back and watch the whole thing.
See, I haven't done that with all 4 of them because I watched 1 through 3 in one sitting the night before John Wick 4 came out, so I could go see John Wick 4 the next day. But I have done 1 through 3 in one sitting, and it is a very fun thing to do.
Yeah, because you get to also, and I think the thing too is why it becomes more cartoony is in the beginning, it's John Wick getting back into assassin mode, right? So he's still good, but he's rusty. He hasn't done it. He's fucking pissed. He's not focused, right? As it gets more on, it's John Wick just fully going into being the best ever. And that's why it becomes, and now the bigger guns are coming out because they know it's John fucking Wick. We need to go bigger with him because he's back. And it really reminds me of Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days is incredibly similar.
I know what it's about. I haven't watched Sakamoto Days yet, but I've seen clips of it whatnot. It looks fantastic, but I've not watched it.
The Netflix version's so fun. It's really good. It's actually a pretty faithful. There's some things off from the manga to the Netflix version, but I will give Netflix some flowers. Their animes that they've been doing lately with like versions have been pretty good and fairly.
I agree. I would
good budget
much rather people watch their anime on Netflix than Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll's the devil. So
Crunchyroll's terrible. Crunchyroll actually has a channel now on Pluto TV, which that tells me they're in trouble. When you're going to Pluto,
waiting for a while, they're in trouble. I've actually made a few videos about that. I think they're in financial trouble and they're just not saying anything.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah, neither am I. But yeah, no, if you like John Wick, Sakamoto Days is really good.
I can't remember how far I got into it because I have this issue of reading things before they come out as anime.
Oh, you're the worst.
I find things and I read a good bit of it, catch up, and then just completely forget about it because I start reading something else. So I don't remember how far I was into Sakamoto Days, but it was really good. It was really, really good. Now apparently got clipped because there's a new Bleach arc coming. But
I mean, which I have negative interest in the new Bleach arc because I didn't like the final arc. I didn't like the 1,000-Year War. I didn't like your
Really?
watch.
I
I
love
wasn't a
that
fan.
Blood War.
Yeah,
I
I
was
haven't kept up.
I was
Terrible.
so happy at the end of the Aranka, and I thought that was the perfect ending. I thought Ichigo losing his powers and everything like that. But then, oh my God, we actually find out he's part Quincy, and now he gets like, get the fuck
And
out of here. We're done. It was
I don't
over.
like that. I don't like that he is everything. I
Yeah.
agree. The writing in the 1,000-Year Blood War manga is not good because he was
No.
the TJ Kubo was super rushed. The studio was telling him what to do. So in the 1,000-Year Blood War anime, he's putting in all the stuff that was supposed to be in the manga was never there. He's at like there's entirely new scenes, everything added, and I've been really enjoying it.
I
It's
hated the
also
manga so much. I have not even. I heard the anime. I've seen the animation. It's gorgeous.
oh, the animation is
like-
gorgeous.
But it's like also like I guess if I see more and I build up to your watch a little bit more, like just him being put in there, it's like, okay, I'm a Quincy now and I have to go fight God. And it's like I lost all my Reaper power. Like everything about it just seemed like, and now what's his face is my mortal enemy because he's a Quincy prince. Like get like everything that you built up to that point is just like, well, just forget about all of Bleach. This is a brand new manga. It's like,
and long running shonen have that problem. Naruto did the same thing,
Yeah,
which I don't give
yeah.
a fuck about. Like I love OG Naruto. I already wasn't really feeling it when the Shippuden. Then it gets to the very end. He's like, oh yeah, no, you guys are fighting reincarnations of gods and shit like that. It's like I just that's so
And
far
Boruto's
removed
terrible.
from you just you're some ninja kids fighting assassins.
Mhm.
Sage Mode was my favorite after Pain. Pain arc was, and Pain
Yeah,
is one of my
the-
favorite
yeah.
antagonists of all time. Once the Akatsuki stuff all wrapped up, again, should have ended after that. Like,
I
that
agree.
should have been the end of
Also,
Naruto.
I will never forgive Shippuden for basically sidelining the greatest character in the whole show, which is Rock Lee. So
Yeah,
fuck
that
you
is
for
an
that.
issue. That-
Fucking bushy brows. Oh, he's just hurt now and he can't do as much.
yeah,
It's like,
I will never because he gets healed and they still didn't do anything with him.
Yeah.
He has that
Well,
drunken fight trying to save Sasuke, and then he never really does anything at all. Shippuden. So yeah,
Yeah.
fuck.
They
what did
basically
with my boy.
give his stuff to Mike. They give his stuff to Guy instead. So yeah, that is annoying as hell. Especially like if you went into Naruto and you actually like Naruto, you like the Chunin exam, you like all these different arcs, you're gonna like Rock Lee. Like you're just gonna like it.
and to this day, he still has like the Rock Lee Gara fight is still to this day one of the best in choreographed fights, either manga or anime that you will ever see.
As much as I love Dragon Ball and I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, I think my favorite fight ever put to anime is Rock Lee vs. Gaara. Like and I don't watch a lot of shonen to be fair. I watched a lot of shonen growing up. I'm kind of shonen out in my old age, so I watched a lot of sci-fi and romance, slice of life. Every now and again, a shonen will come out. I'll be like, okay, I'm actually kind of digging this. I did enjoy My Hero Academia, but I've not really been able to get into Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm on the fence with Demon Slayer, so it's just because I don't watch a lot of modern shonen.
My Hero ended beautifully, honestly.
I agree. I love how My Hero ended.
My Hero's ending was coinciding with JJK, and JJK's was so much worse than My Hero, where JJK's was drawn out. You knew what it was going to be, and it was just drawn out.
I felt vindicated for being a JJK hater after all my friends being JJK fans talking about how much they hated the ending. Meanwhile, My Hero, I do think ended well.
I liked JJK up until they put fucking Gojo in a box, and then that pissed me off. They put Gojo in a box for 50 chapters, and that drove me fucking crazy. But yeah, My Hero ended perfectly. All three main protagonists, four actually, got their endings, and Deku was true to the end. He ended trying to save Shigaraki. Like he was always trying to save him. And Shigaraki was pure evil, and it was great. There was no redemption. It was
the only thing I don't like about the ending of My Hero, and I say this pretty much anytime it comes up because I have to give this caveat, is that I don't like the mangaka bowed and kowtowed and basically wrote a second ending just because fans are pissed off. I don't like when creators and writers or just anyone in creative field bows and kowtows their fans. Like, dude, you had an ending, you wrote this ending, they bitched, and so you pushed out and wrote a second ending as well. So I was like, I dislike that, but even the ending he wrote is the second ending. It's not bad. Seeing him with the chocolate is not bad. I just don't like that he did it because of fan pressure.
Honestly, if you want to do anything, you should have just done Vigilantes and just made Crawler the next guy, because I fucking love Vigilantes.
I haven't seen or read Vigilantes, so I
read it. It's so good. Well, Eraserhead is a big part of it. But Crawler is a great character. I highly recommend Vigilantes. See, one of my top 3 anime mangas were Rurouni Kenshin.
I'm a huge Rurouni Kenshin fan.
Choreography in Rurouni Kenshin is almost second to none. It really just And even the new one, again, the Netflix one was gorgeous.
See, I've got such a inherent worry about remakes and whatnot. It's like the original Rurouni Kenshin is damn near perfect, and so I didn't watch the Netflix remake, but people say it's good, and so I was like, maybe I should buckle down and watch it. I've got such an attachment to, more than anything, it's the classic art styles, like the fact that it's all hand drawn and whatnot. Oh,
the music in Rurouni Kenshin it just sets the scene so well, and I love that's top 3 for me. David turned me on to Soul Eater, and they're redoing Soul Eater apparently. They're going to give us the manga ending.
Soul Eater deviates from the manga very hard.
Yes. I'm okay terribly.
The anime's terrible. The end of the anime is bad.
I watched the anime, then I read the manga, and I was mad at the anime afterwards.
I still like the anime, but mostly for nostalgia purposes as opposed to it actually being good.
Yes.
Everything up to kind of the final battle, like the arc leading up to the final battle, was pretty faithful. It was pretty good.
I can't remember exactly where it branches off, but once they get into the Kishin fight, it's just like all over the fucking place. Like it doesn't make any sense.
And the thing is, too, it's like they nerf 2 of the 3 main characters.
They nerf all of them.
No, they give it all to Maka.
They scream hella nerf Black Star.
And Black Star becomes the best out of all 3 at the end of the manga. He's like such a pivotal part of everything because he finally matures and realizes he's a piece of shit and he needs to be better for Tsubaki. And then when he is, they become the ultimate, because Tsubaki's the ultimate weapon. So it's like, she is like, I don't know. The end of Soul Eater pisses me the fuck off. But it's in my top 3. But we'll get to a few more comments here. Matt Stanford. The problem with long-running franchises with the character like John Wick is that you run out of lore and all that is left is action. Baby Yaga was mysterious in John Wick. By the 4th movie, what's left? That's true. And is also a problem with, and I feel like a lot of these long-running franchises, I have no idea if the creator had the finish where John Wick 4 is, right? Because sometimes you create something and your finish is here, but you did so good, they demand more. Right. Dragon Ball ran into that problem with Cell. Cell was the end. Cell was supposed to be over. Gohan's now the leader.
Cell arc's my favorite arc. That's where I love the Majin Buu stuff, but it should have ended at Cell.
Yes.
And it's funny too, because like Dragon Ball fans look back at Majin Buu with like not disdain, but where it's like, but then you have so many big moments from the Majin Buu arc that are just like legendary.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's because like the Buu arc was a tacked on thing, but then if you don't have that, then you don't get the Vegeta sacrificing himself moment, the Majin Vegeta versus.
Well, not only that, my favorite moment in all of Dragon Ball history, the entire history, video games, the other shows, not just Z, all of it came from the anime version of Z, and it wasn't even in the manga, and it was in the Buu arc. And that's when Goku first meets Goten for the first time. They hold each other. He's like, "I'm your daddy." He's like throwing him up in the air. That was made for the anime, wasn't even in the manga, and I think that's the best thing that Dragon Ball has ever done.
One of my favorite moments.
I'm a sucker for dad shit, though.
But it comes from the first movie, The Dead Zone. And I have this saved in my freaking phone as just a GIF. When Goku is fighting the minions and they rip out the weapons from their body and just the choreography of him dodging, that moment to me is like, that is peak martial arts choreography. And it's what Dragon Ball used to be.
I'd say that's why, early Dragon Ball, I enjoyed the fights one more because there was more, like, not that they don't have, because Goku versus Cell actually has great choreography and stuff as well. But it like when you get to like Vegito fighting Buu, it's cool. You're seeing like dog walk and use all these beams and shit, and he's super powerful, but it's not actually really impressive on a technical level.
No.
Well, that's why Ultimate Gohan was fun, right? Because when he came in, you saw a ton of technique with him versus Buu. It wasn't just punch. It was his speed and everything. And even going back to the end of Dragon Ball, which is essentially Dragon Ball Z at that point with the Piccolo fight with Goku. If people have just started at Z, they have no idea how great
that's the biggest criticism I have for people who are like, they're Dragon Ball haters as a franchise. They're like, oh, Dragon Ball Z is dated, or it's just people screaming and whatnot. It's like, you're just showing you never saw Dragon Ball. Which people from our generation, I get, because we didn't get Dragon Ball until after Z was already a thing. But you owe yourself to go back and watch classic Dragon Ball, because classic Dragon Ball is so fucking good.
It's one of the best adventure stories.
Well, it's also, I like Toriyama better when he's writing comedy than when he's writing action. Not that I dislike the action, but like that's why I liked Daima so much. Daima is more I want my Dragon Ball to be comedy first, action and adventure second. I still want it there, but I want the comedy to come first. That's why I think Battle of Gods was such a great movie. The first hour of that hour and a half movie is all him doing comedy shit. And then the last 30 minutes, like, all right, balls to the ball, fight Beerus.
And Super slightly misses the mark because they just make Goku a retard. Where by the end of Z, he was competent. Like, he was goofy and naive, but he he wasn't a dumbass. He was a competent person. He was, you know, a really good father and things like that. Like, he always cared about Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi was like,
and his kids. That's why I hate motherfuckers. Like, I get for the meme, Goku's bad dad. Goku was never a bad fucking dad, and it's one of the things that Goku was never a bad dad. He was a he's a Saiyan. He was selfish, and he was always going off and doing fights and whatnot. But he was never a bad dad. He, you know, agreed with Chi-Chi's wishes of Gohan getting an education unless the world was at stake. He, I mean, Goku was never a bad dad.
The whole thing about his character is he is an alien on Earth. He doesn't understand any of that. What he understands the most is fighting. He doesn't really understand much of anything else when it comes to like Earthling types of things. So what he can give to his kids, what he can give to the world is his fighting prowess. That's how he's going to give back to his children.
And not just the fighting prowess, but also instilling the idea of like, you know, going the distance, going further, going like
pushing harder.
Yeah, right. Like Gohan can apply those same, and you know, hypothetically, he did apply those techniques his father taught him, just about perseverance to his school life and studies, and why he's able to become. Because I mean, when you're watching the Dragon Ball Z, the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, like Gohan and them are living in a fucking mansion. It's not just living on Vidal's money from Hercule being daddy. He's like the world's leading fucking scholar.
Yeah, no, it's. And yeah, I completely agree. And the thing too that people don't get is,
I don't know. They never tell us, but anyway.
But he is obviously important.
But I think there was a change after the first time Goku became Super Saiyan, right? Because that Saiyan in him came out more and more. Because that fighting need, and because it was just once he tasted that ultimate power, he wanted to keep going. And then he had a reason, because now Vegeta's hanging around, right? Like Vegeta's not gone. So it could have been really different if Vegeta was like piss off Earth, because then Goku would came back and he would have just rested because he had no competition. But
because that's what he did in the 5 years between the end of Dragon Ball and beginning of Dragon Ball Z. Like, he keeps training and stuff, but he's effectively just a farmer with Chi-Chi.
Yeah, he's just
raising
hanging out. Yeah, and so it's like when you look at that and you take it all in, Dragon Ball fans understand that, right? So we're nerding out about Dragon Ball. Let's get to a few more comments here. Junebug May Cry. A lot of anti-woke channel turned me off from the show, but I did watch Ballerina. Yeah, I have nothing against it. It's just it had the John Wick aesthetic without the John Wick feel, and she just didn't.
Well, he was talking about
the Continental,
the Continental show here.
The show.
The thing is, look, obviously, I do a lot of anti-woke content. A lot of my peers do. That being said, I think that a lot of quote unquote anti-woke folk take shit like. Not at face value or take it too far. Not like, for example, people are calling Furiosa woke, and I've always maintained this. Furiosa wasn't woke. It's like Superman. It just fucking sucked.
It wasn't good.
Way worse things about it. But people were calling it woke just from the trailers. I'm like, God, there's nothing. I watched the trailer. How could any of these anti-woke people get anti-woke stuff from it? Yeah, Continental wasn't woke. It was at least if you're looking for it, you're gonna find stuff, because you always will. But in all reality, it wasn't.
Tom Hardy's Mad Max wasn't good. Like, we're being completely honest. The Tom Hardy Mad Max was not Mad Max. So it's like, if you go off that, and you know, Furiosa arguably was like the best part of that Mad Max. Like, she was actually a really good character in that movie. And I guess the only way they can go woke is the fact that you're now bringing in a female as the lead. That's the only thing you could say, right? They did the female lead thing.
Differentiate or don't differentiate what is and isn't woke. And it's like, look, man, she's not all powerful and whatnot because she's a female. It's not, you know, pushing an agenda, things like that. It's, you know, you've got a female character here, but I've always loved female characters. I grew up, you know, my favorite video game character. Well, actually, my favorite video game character is not the Hedgehog. My second favorite video game character of all time is Jill Valentine. Been a Jill Valentine fan since 1998 when I first played Resident Evil, which I know came out in 96, and played till 98. Anyway, like, and Jill has been my girl since then. Like, I love Leon, I love Chris, but Jill is my girl. My second favorite character in Sonic is Amy, you know, the female character. I've always loved female characters. I just want them to be well written.
And the thing is, it's like, Amy's just a goddamn stalker for most of it. Like, she just loves Sonic, and her whole goal is to get Sonic to pound out, and Sonic's an idiot. Sonic is Goku. He's naive.
They're so similar, actually, in terms of characterization.
Well, the creator of Sonic and Toriyama are friends. Like, and that's the thing. They're not.
I didn't know that, but that doesn't surprise me.
And they've given props to each other, where it's like, where Sonic technically did, I think, have some things before Goku. The creator openly was like, no, Super Sonic, I like Dragon Ball a lot. Like, there's a reason why he looks like he does.
Yeah,
and
again, not just that, but 7 Dragon Balls, 7 Chaos Emeralds,
and all the other characters. Shadow is Piccolo, or Knuckles is Piccolo. Shadow's Vegeta.
Yeah.
Like you have all these similarities, and also It's because
I just Googled it, by the way. So Yasushi Yagamuchi, the character designer and whatnot, and the lead writer behind the Sonic the Hedgehog games, the early ones, confirmed that Sonic and Tails' friendship was directly based off of Gohan and Piccolo's in the Dragon Ball manga.
So it's like, and the thing is too, I'm not surprised at that as well, because we look at Dragon Ball is one of the foundational manga anime of all time. There's a few of them. There's Dragon Ball, there's Bleach. Not Bleach, I mean Berserk. Berserk's one of the foundations. There's Akira. Like there's ones that you just get things from. And that created the shonen trope. The shonen trope was around. Dragon Ball perfected it, right?
It did, and there's a reason that things like My Hero Academia to this day are still using them, because like you said, they perfected it.
The reason why I think you love My Hero as well, though, is because the creator openly said, especially when you're watching Deku on his vigilante, which my Dark Deku is one of my favorite parts of the whole entire thing, when he's running around the city looking like a fucking demon. But the creator is like, my favorite comic book character is Spider-Man, which is why all of his moves eventually make him Spider-Man.
The whip moves. Yeah, in fact, Spider-Man made a cameo in the manga, which they could not do in the anime, but he made a cameo in the manga. My Hero took a bit for me to get into. I actually didn't particularly care for the first couple of seasons because they were too generic shonen. It wasn't until about season 3 that it became its own thing. And I think it's season 4 or so when they do that, like, okay, we just had a bunch of action, let's take a break, let's have a school festival. They're putting on that's actually my favorite part of all of My Hero, the school festival arc. Gentle Criminal is my favorite villain character because he's not really that great of it was just a nice slow down moment.
It's so Japanese,
classic Dragon. And it's so
fucking Japanese at that point. And that's a slice of life stuff that, again, if you're used to being a hardcore comic fan, you don't understand that, right? Like,
that's actually also why My Hero is different than most other modern shonens. While like the school setting and whatnot is very Japanese, it's one of the only like action shows and whatnot that in action manga that are taking cues from Western comics back when Western comics were good. Like All Might is a very Western comic character. All Might is a very Western comic character.
And they bring in Stars and Stripes at the end to confirm that All Might's very Western, because Stars and Stripes is just All Might that can fly, right? And it's like, so it's really good. So a few more comments here. Caveat: you only got to read the teaser prologue, so I don't expect you to know everything. Rollin, you're too nice. Just tell me I'm a fucking idiot. It's okay. Matt Stanford: eventually you'll just go full Fast and the Furious, and then we get John Wick on the moon. There's nothing. Listen, we do not take Fast and Furious slander well here, okay? There gets to a point where it's so ridiculous that you just sit back and fucking enjoy every
I've only ever
single
seen 2
moment.
Fast and Furious movies, but I agree with the concept.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of ridiculous and fun, I actually saw the Minecraft movie for the first time today, because our theaters do, like, throughout a few days in the week in the summer, $1 movies for kids. And Minecraft was the $1 movie. They do like a $5 little snack box, a little popcorn, a drink, and friggin' fruit snack. So went with my daughters and a few of their friends, and it was Minecraft. And I'm like, whatever, it's Minecraft. It was actually just a fine popcorn flick, like a dumb, funny kids popcorn flick. Nothing in there super controversial. A few things semi-adultish, but it's only adults understand what they're saying. It's back to like old school Disney innuendo shit.
Right.
And it was actually, if I'm gonna give it as like a rating, like if we're gonna go on Criticalist because they do percentages, probably giving it anywhere between 70 to 75%. Like, it was a fine movie.
That's why I'm more from Street Fighter. Look, I'm a huge Street Fighter fan. I love the Street Fighter games. I love the lore. I love the Street Fighter anime, the manga, the thing. Actually, they were actually straight up comics. I don't know if they're Japanese or not because I was a kid when I was reading them, but they were like, I love Street Fighter. I don't need the upcoming Street Fighter movie to be good. I need it to be fun. I need it to represent Street Fighter. Now, if it is good on top of it, that's a bonus. But like, I just want Street Fighter to be fun. And if I get that, great. Like, movies I'm looking forward to be good are movies like The Furious, which just recently saw. The Furious was amazing.
Oh, I need to go see that.
I need to see it. I've heard that's the best movie out right now.
Imagine like an old 70s through 90s Jackie Chan, like in terms of choreography and whatnot, but it's super serious, and it's just an hour and 40 minutes of two Japanese of two kung fu bros beating the fuck out of pedophiles. It's awesome.
Well,
I'm here for it.
I watched The Raid not too long ago, and it's
The Raid is
same
so
people
good.
that made The Raid. So I'm hyped.
People keep comparing it to The Raid, and from a choreography perspective, I get why. Story wise, nothing similar. Purely surface level of the comparisons, but but they are there.
See, this is like, it seems to me like, because my dad always liked the action movies and stuff. So like, I like the movies like The Substitute, IP Man, things like that. Like, if it's any sort of action like that, where it's like give them a reason to just go fuck things up and then just watch them fuck things up. That's all I want in these martial arts movies.
The Furious is that, but the Furious will. I don't want to say what it is because it'd be a major spoiler. But the Furious does something at about the halfway mark that I've never in my entire life seen an action movie do. Not saying it's never been done, but I've seen a lot of movies and I've never seen this done. So I was real impressed by that. There were parts I was on the edge of my seat. Like the Furious is the best movie I've seen this year, and I've seen a lot of movies. I mean, I loved Iron Lung. I liked Backrooms. The Furious just was a game changer this year.
And I need to go see it. And Dave, we need to tell Dad to see it because Dad likes any martial arts.
I might force him to do
movies.
it.
maybe we'll do it. Oh, by the way, housekeeping. We're not going to be here next week. We're actually Dave and I are both going to Florida. Just throwing that in there now. We're going to be over at hanging out over in Florida there. So next week there won't be a show. So don't come here next week. Go watch Leon instead. Go watch Bolt the Words of Paradise. Go watch all that. So Junebug May Cry. Ichigo was getting too many powers. It just dumb. I'd rather see his overpowered son. He'd be a power lover, a wet dream, and be pissing off the Boruto fandom.
That would be funnier. I agree.
I mean, listen.
I actually met someone in real life that liked Boruto. And then before they even said anything, they couched it like, look, I know. And then before they said they liked it, I'm like, you don't fuck. No.
The only thing I've seen about Boruto is the fight choreography is gorgeous. I've seen some fight scenes and the fight choreography looks awesome. But when you nerf Sasuke and you tell me Sasuke doesn't have enough stamina when the Susanoo is all stamina, don't get me going. Don't get me going. It just got retarded. But anyway, I'm going to move on, Dave. I'm going to blow a fucking gasket. I hate Boruto. Junebug May Cry. JJK sequel ending was better than the OG one. I didn't look for the sequel because the OG one pissed me off. I was just waiting for them to get to Itadori, and it just took fucking forever. And they made you go through fodder upon fodder upon fodder and make you try to remember characters from Shibuya and characters from the fucking Cullen game that were maybe in one chapter or a few panels, and here they all come and they all just get fucking fodder for Sukuna. No, just give me a few people that are strong that I can measure Sukuna's power up to, and then bring fucking Itadori there to go save Megumi. And that's all I needed, and they didn't give it to me. There was a really cool part. Toto is one of my favorite characters of all time, and Toto's part was awesome. But outside of that, fuck that ending. Blaze Arrow, what's up, man? Doesn't everyone make fun of Deku for becoming a McDonald's worker after losing his powers or something? So here's the thing. He's a professor, and he still has he's not weak. That's the thing that pisses me off with Deku. Deku isn't fully weak. He's not All Might strong, but he's still really fucking strong. There's an ember there. It's not a burn, it's an ember. So he could pick up a car and launch it to the ether, but he's not going to go fight the big bad. Like, he is a strong guy, but he's not a superhero.
Like, his whole thing, like you said, he becomes a professor teaching the next generation, which is always, that's more, he's
a nerd.
Yeah, he's a nerd, and he's still living out like the dream of being, what's more heroic than teaching the next generation of heroes to be the heroes that you once were?
And the thing is, I think people forget in the beginning, what was the running joke and the running meme with Deku? After everything you learned or they talked about, he would break out his fucking notebook and ignore everyone and make sure he wrote it all down. Like, that would take up a fucking page of Deku just being a nerd and everyone making fun of him. And that was a big part. So him going back to being a nerd makes sense. And considering that Eraserhead was one of his biggest influences as well with All Might, like, it makes all perfect sense. And then he gets to hang out with fucking Mount Lady more. And anytime you get to hang out with her and the shit that she wears, it's a good thing.
Based.
Blizzara going, I actually haven't seen My Hero, to be honest. My entire impression on it is from the community and little YouTube shorts. The community's terrible. So the people that get on it, it's dumb. And it's not even like a terrible community in terms of how bad Naruto got, but it's people just rag on it.
So I actually did a video on this maybe a month or so ago. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever done, because instead of just being me streaming when I was like a full scripted edited video, I was talking about the concept of anime tourism. And in that video I talk about, it's like there's people that are watching anime post-COVID, the people who got into like the anime COVID boom, they're pulling all their entire opinions and whatnot from shorts and stuff as opposed to actually watching the movie because their attention span is not there. It's like if you get your opinion, I'm not talking about you specifically because you seem like you watch other anime, but like just the general whoever left that
Blizzara there,
Blizzara. But there are people out there that get their entire opinions and whatnot just from watching shorts. Oh, fuck you, you're a tourist. Like,
well, it's like what happened. It might have been a month ago as well, but what happened recently on Twitter where people were arguing that they were a fan of Resident Evil because they were watching people play it and not actually playing the game.
You're speaking my language. Like, I actually made a very long and scathing video takedown of Resident Evil 9 because Resident Evil 9 was not in my opinion, not a particularly good fucking game. At least for a Resident Evil game.
And a lot of people like it, and you can like whatever you want. But if you have never played any of the Resident Evils, and especially the good ones, in the dark at night with your friends, fucking jumping, because it's
my neighbors called the cops when me and my little brother playing Resident Evil 3. It was the original, the very first time Nemesis jumps through the police academy window. We screamed so loud, our neighbors thought that our parents were abusing us, and they called the cops.
And people need to remember, right? When Resident Evil first started, its competition in the genre were fucking Silent Hill and Wolfenstein. So it's like it was going up against a lot of these like horror-esque type of movies, type of movie-ish games. But Resident Evil did a lot of things different that set it apart as well. And it helped really recreate the genre and the way they did it.
Oh, yeah. It's again, that and Sonic, they're my two, which they couldn't be further removed from one another. They're my two favorite game franchises. And it's like and more than anything, I'm a lore hound. I'm a lore guy. And the amount of retcons and changes of lore and everything in these later games, it's like, because the original people that made those games, they're not with Capcom anymore. It's been, 30 years, 35 years. Yeah. So you're standing on shoulders of giants. You're changing everything they wrote. Oh, it turns out Raccoon City has actually been around the whole time. And it turns out there's still zombies there. It's like, to me, it is an insult to the people that created and crafted this lore. There's a sandbox they're allowed to play in, and rather than playing with their toys and treating them nice, you're just fucking being like Sid from Toy Story and breaking everything.
Sonic Unleashed is the ultimate bait and switch, though, because because they gave you the sample at one point, and the sample was just you running at 1,000,000 miles a fucking hour, and it was like, this game's gonna be incredible. And then before I bought it, I was smart enough to wait. And then I saw that it slows down and makes you become a giant fucking werebitch. And I'm like, I don't want to play Sonic as walking.
People glaze Unleashed as like just this return to form for Sonic. It's like, no, Unleashed was never good. You can maybe say it was okay, but it was never good.
I mean, listen, the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Sonic Adventure, like the Sonic Adventure is my single favorite video game of all time. Like
I love the second one. And
I love the second one as well, but man, that first one is just like, it's not an exaggeration, favorite video game ever made.
But you know what, though? Talk about giving the people what they want with Sonic in these movies as well. It's like, first off, they fix the first one. They give us his dumb fucking eyes and we get pissed and they fix it, which was like a massive win for fandom because usually they tell us to piss off.
Right.
And then with the third movie, giving us Sonic Adventure 2, basically the storyline. It's like, here's the thing. Sonic is never going to be the biggest franchise, but if they just keep on giving us, because like you said, there's a ton of lore with Sonic. And considering from the shows and things like that, like Sonic Prime has its problems, but I liked what Sonic Prime attempted, right?
Yeah. I've got mixed opinions on Sonic Prime, but it's not like, I think some of the comedy writing in it's actually pretty good. Yeah. It does interesting things with the lore. I haven't seen the final episode, the final season of Prime, to be fair, but yeah, I like it more than I dislike it.
The final season of Prime is good, but draws out too long. It's good and it's a good ending. It's proper. It's fine. My kids fucking love Sonic Prime. Like we'll randomly, like right now they're rewatching Avatar. My younger one's watching it for the first time. My older one, this is her second time watching it. She freaking loves Avatar. She's going to watch Korra next. So I might have to disown her, but, and I won't let her watch this new Avatar coming out because it looks fucking,
I wouldn't let my kid watch that. I mean, to be fair, my kid's old enough to like make those decisions. I don't really care, but like, I wouldn't, if she were younger, show her this new shit or show her Korra.
Well, she already watched Korra because we watched the first one together, and then without me knowing, she just like blitzed Korra, which is fine. Korra sucks, but Korra's just not good. She's not a good Avatar.
She's not good. And like Korra as a show, I actually like things it does better than Avatar in the beginning. I think like technical things. Like, I think it does better choreography and whatnot because it's more martial arts driven than spiritual and whatnot. But as the writing, it's dog shit.
And it's funny too, because as we're watching the shows and I'm rewatching it again, all the lessons that Avatar teaches, and I'm talking to my daughters, and you want to talk about some favorite characters ever? Uncle Iroh might be one of my favorite characters
I
ever
love
written in
Toph.
anything
Toph's
ever.
a bitch in the
Toph
funniest
is my
way.
second
Like
favorite.
being able to just make fun of your disability, and it's like no, yeah, Toph is great.
And Toph
Yeah,
also
Iroh is awesome as well. We actually got into a debate on my stream, I think Friday night, maybe it was last Sunday, something like that, about Iroh, Roshi, Splinter, like who is the best mentor character.
I mean,
an interesting one.
I would go with Jiraiya, but
Jiraiya was in the conversation.
No, but Iroh arguably, because Iroh is such a sage character, right? And the thing is with Iroh, you learn so much about him that he wasn't a good guy. He was the general leader of the Fire Nation when they went to war, the best general they had in the war at the time, and he didn't actually lose in Ba Sing Se.
Well, he's very similar to Kenshin in that regard. And Kenshin prior to Rurouni Kenshin, like during the actual war,
Batosai is
right.
Awesome.
He was the manslayer. He is. There's a reason he's living a lifetime of redemption.
And again, and you find out really quickly because the first big bad in Rurouni Kenshin is Janae, and Janae pushes that out in him, and it's
the first time I ever was watching, I was like, is this when he snaps? Is this when he breaks? I mean, it's to protect Kaoru. Is he gonna do it? And the show keeps teasing you as it goes on. It teases you later on with oh my god, what's his name?
When he fights Satu the first time, whatchamacallit, the one that was the police officer.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, when he fights in the swordsman dojo and whatnot, it's like, fuck, is this gonna, dude? It always hits you that tease, but he never does it. He never
those
breaks.
golden eyes. Once the eyes go golden and it starts getting a little bit more, it's like shit, and you know it's real when he turns the blade around, right? He'll fight with the reverse blade for a little bit in that mode, but then when he's ready to kill, he turns it around and it's like, he's ready to kill.
You'd never know if he's going to actually do it. Like it's written so well. It's like any fight where that happens. There's only a few of them throughout the whole show, but when that happens, like this might be the time he fucking breaks. He goes back to being the manslayer, and he's doing it to protect Kaoru, but that would break Kaoru. She doesn't want
literally
that.
Avatar mode. It's Avatar mode in Rurouni Kenshin. So a few more comments here, Blazera. That's why when I make stories that could actually work if it was extended, just in case I get popular. And the thing is,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's smart, but also for me, because I'm a writer, it's never going to release anything, but I am writing things. Have an ending. That's for me. Have an ending. Like, know where you want to get to. Like, you should know where you want to get to.
I think they're also saying that just in case, just in case it gets extended, you could always.
Yeah. But they were also saying, I don't think the original Goku was dumb. I think Goku was more of I want to believe they're a good guy despite the fact of what they have done kind of guy. Like naively believing certain people can change. And you saw that, right? Vegeta doesn't exist if he doesn't tell Krillin not to kill him. Krillin was ready to kill him. And I mean, with Frieza, he gave Frieza energy. And the only reason he ended up attempting to truly kill him is because Frieza tried to hit him. And he's like, you're a dickhead. I'm going to kill you now. So, and that happens over and over. And here's the thing. If he believed that he was stronger than Cell and that he could beat him, he would have given Cell that chance. Like, so that's all the difference, where Gohan's complete rage and he doesn't give a fuck towards the end. He's like, death is your only existence here. Junebug may cry. They called New He-Man woke because the trailer was kind of woke, but the film wasn't, and it was just okay. And here's the thing. They fucked up with the trailers themselves, because where they tried to show us comedy, the people in the anti-woke sphere are so wound up and ready to look for it. And again, they annoy me too, Leon. I'm the same way with you. When they watch something and it's like woke right away, and it's like, no, like honestly, when I'm looking for things, like we've had Christian Toto on the show. I think Christian Toto is as straight of a shooter as you're going to get in terms of reviews. And so I look for some things and it's like, no, it's not fucking woke. Just because you disagree with it doesn't mean it's woke. And number two, there's always been lefty shit thrown in media. There's always been jabs at conservatives.
One of the funniest, coolest spy movies, quote unquote spy movies, is Sneakers from the 90s with Robert Redford. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Oh, I didn't see Sneakers. No,
it is. Good. It is lefty as fuck. No, it's lefty as fuck from the 90s, in the 90s. But even so, it's still a great. Well, maybe it's still a very good movie.
Yeah.
Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd. I mean, like it's.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a really funny, witty tech hacker spy kind of movie. But I mean, at the end of the movie, they steal all the money from Republicans and donate to Greenpeace. Like, let's be real, that's fucking
and that's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's super funny. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, for me too, it's like one of my favorite comedies is the fucking Birdcage with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane.
Love the Birdcage. It's and the thing is, released in my theater. I'm going to take my kid to see it.
And it's if people haven't seen the Birdcage, the whole concept is a Guy falls in love with the girl. He's gonna marry her, but his dads are gay, and it's Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. But the girl's dad is a fucking Republican senator. He's a conservative senator. So in order for the son's like, I'm never gonna get his permission with two gay dads. So they make Nathan Lane and Robin Williams. Nathan Lane becomes a woman. Robin Williams tries to be a man, and it's just comedy at the next level. And you know, you would think like, I'm a conservative. I don't know. It's fucking hilarious, right?
Yeah,
like, and they're making fun of conservatives the whole time. It's great.
I saw the Birdcage when I was like 12 years old or something. And I was like, I've watched the movie so many times since because I love Robin Williams stand up. I'm not a fan of most of his comedy roles. I'm one of those pretentious douchebags that like serious Robin Williams. Birdcage being the exception to the rule. I love the Birdcage.
Well, him and Nathan Lane are always good. Nathan Lane just, I think, pulls the best out of everyone. He is such an underrated actor.
Also so good. Like,
Yeah, he's so underrated. Well, speaking of underrated comedians, well, maybe not underrated, but have you watched any of Only Murderers in the Building? My wife started watching
Mike Myers and
no, it's
not Mike Myers, Martin Short. Martin
Short and Steve Martin and Selena Gomez.
I saw them live do like their 2-man show like 6 or 7 years ago. It was so funny, but I've not watched their actual TV
when
show.
I tell you that show is quintessential Steve Martin and Martin Short. Just they're playing their best roles. Like Steve Martin, that funny, insecure guy. Martin Short, the confident guy that really kind of has always shit luck and fucking. And Selena Gomez is perfect in it, to be quite honest. She's the perfect foil. And they have a whole bunch of different celebrity things. Like, I don't watch it faithfully. My wife does. But it's one of those shows that when it's on, I'm not walking out of the room. I will get locked in. And they're great. I will recommend Only Murderers because I think it's a really good show. They did it really well. Blizzera coming in saying, funny enough, most of my favorite top 5 Sonic characters are female. Blizzera also coming in with Chicken Jockey. I mean, Rogue was every guy's favorite fucking character. They knew what they were doing when they drew her.
Agreed.
Blizzera, I think people originally were upset because they expected a serious take on Minecraft, when in reality it was just from the start meant to be goofy, non-serious movie, and no one expected that. On top of that, though, my thing was they crafted a story out of a game that doesn't really have a story, and I thought they did a nice job doing it. Jack Black was funny. Jason Momoa was actually fucking hilarious in that movie. He was really good, and there was nothing over the top. Like, they had like a little bit of a diverse cast, but it wasn't like the black chick in it wasn't like, I'm here because I'm black and I'm the best. Like, no, she was just a good actress and played her role perfectly, was funny. I just thought it was a good little popcorn flick that's safe to take your kids to, which is all I need out of my kids' movies. Matt Stanford, Street Fighter just won't be the same without Raul Julia's M. Bison. And yeah, listen, Raul Julia is everything. The guy was a fantastic actor. I can't think of a role that he was bad in. Was there a Jack Black hella carried it and saw it through to the end despite the backlash? But here's the thing, Jack Black also put his fucking foot in his mouth because that was right at the same time where Kyle was fucking partner. They were celebrating President Trump almost getting assassinated. So no, he should have, they should have missed next time. So it's like he deserved the fucking backlash he was getting because
I agree.
He just stood there and laughed, right? And it was like, it would have been different if he was like, not funny. We're not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. But he just stood there and laughed. So fuck that guy. Caveat Ty saying, well, you are an idiot, just not because of that. Thanks, Ron. I'm happy to have you back. Junebug may cry. Leon, you got to watch Obsession. It's peak and very good.
I heard I have to watch Obsession. I don't keep saying watch Obsession.
I very much liked Obsession. I've seen it twice. So.
Quick update for those.
We're watching Positions in the Discord tomorrow for our movie night. We do we hit a certain tier goal on Fridays. The following Thursday, we do a movie night in the Discord. Nice. And did either of you guys see Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler?
Oh, I love Uncut Gems.
So the way this movie has been described to me, and my buddy Stupendo has been just begging me to watch it. And so I was like, all right, we'll do it in the Discord on Thursday because it's when the wheels spin. He's like, it is Uncut Gems if it was about crypto and starring you. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm in. Let's do it.
That's interesting. That's very interesting because Uncut Gems is so damn good.
Uncut Gems is masterpiece of a film.
Adam Sandler showing, look, I can really do this if I want to. It's just not what I want to do.
Yeah, but then he makes all the other Netflix movies, which are so fucking bad.
I actually think Adam Sandler's Netflix run is better than his post-click stealthy acting.
I watched, what is it? Murder Mystery, whatever the hell those movies are with Jennifer Aniston. There's just 2 of them. Where they're a couple and they go on a trip and someone dies.
I only saw the first one. But I know the one you're talking about. Damn.
Just go with it?
No. No, it's like murder mystery or something like that. It's a dumb name.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
I mean, if Jennifer Aniston's in it, I'll give it a shot.
He did this. He did an action movie on Netflix with David Spade called The Do Over. That I mean, it didn't do anything more than it had to be, which is just be a funny buddy cop Adam Sandler action movie, and like it works for what it is. Seeing Adam Sandler like use the gunplay and shoot everybody. And I was like, this actually, I kind of see Adam Sandler as like a low tier action star, better than Steven Seagal. Like,
well, here's the thing. Another reason why I do like Adam Sandler. Everybody knows he's a conservative. He just doesn't have to say it, right? Like his mannerisms and the way he talks and the fact that he's like, fuck you, Rob Schneider's my friend. That's the only thing I need to know. Like, I'm going to keep bringing Rob Schneider in, even though he's being a loud conservative. Like, I guarantee, because I know the Friends of Abe is gone now in Hollywood. They've disbanded. But I guarantee Adam Sandler was a part of the Friends of Abe because I know Vince Vaughn was in it. We had Matt Kadish from Salty Nerd Podcast on the show. He was a part of the Friends of Abe. And Matt Kadish was awesome. Salty Nerd's great too. I love Salty Nerd. We had Odin on. Odin's a part of Salty Nerd now too and stuff. So
didn't know that.
But it was murder mystery. They made 2 of them. It's him and Jennifer Aniston. So the whole thing is just like as a couple, they're going on a trip, someone dies, and then they might be implicated in it, so they have to find out what the fuck happened.
They made 2 movies out of that.
Yeah, but it's really dumb. But it was fun enough. It was like, this is fine. Like it's nothing. It doesn't hurt. So.
Boyzera coming in. He's saying, enjoy mini Australia. Thank you. I think you're talking about when I'm going to Orlando. Boyzera also saying, be very careful, buddy. I can draw you pregnant and Sasuke will be your father. Truly my best threat ever. I mean, Sasuke would be a terrible fucking dad. Boyzera, thing is, I don't judge an anime based on its community, but don't worry, I'm not completely clueless. I know from the community that Bakugo and Deku are gay together and that All Might isn't actually strong. I mean, Bakugo may be quasi-gay. I'm not gonna lie. Just the way he is, there's a possibility.
Well, and to it, just add on to this. This is one of my mod Daxnar. He and I get into arguments about this all the time. I do think a community can ruin an IP, like not just anime, but I do think that a community can retroactively fucking ruin an overall IP.
I mean, it all depends, right? Like, if it's for new people coming in, yeah, you're not going to get any more going forward.
I think it pushes people away. Like, if people see what a community does before they get into something and they don't like that community, they're like, if they see all the weird shipping in My Hero, they're just like, I don't really want to get involved in that in any way, so they just steer clear of it. Yeah, it can definitely push
what's the big joke within amongst Sonic the Hedgehog? It's not even the games are bad, it's the weird ass furries doing shit. They're doing art of like turning them into toilets and whatnot. It's like I tell people I'm a Sonic fan. I always give the caveat or the disclaimer afterwards, but not the DeviantArt kind.
Well,
like, if you feel like you have to add a disclaimer like that, that's a fucking problem.
Well, yeah, Sonic fandom has that, but also Chris Chan attached to it as well.
Yeah, Chris Chan is as well. Yeah,
and the Sonichu. The Sonichu will never everyone's gonna die.
I yelled at some teenagers at the G&G Orlando trip a couple months ago. So like we're at MegaCon and it's me and a bunch of my other friends and whatnot. And we're sitting down and we're trying to find a table to eat at. We're trying to find a table. And I mean, this con is packed. We can't find a fucking table. Finally, one opens up. We snag it. And there's like 3 seats left. And these teenage kids walk over like, hey, there's nowhere to sit. Can we sit with you guys? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Then the third kid walks up and he's wearing a Sonichu medallion. I was like, not you. I was like, I'm being dead serious. Like, we're all content creators at this table. We're all content creators. I'm not willing to risk it. Your friends can sit here. You can't. And they were all just like offended and walked off. I was like, no, I wasn't willing to risk it.
But here's the thing, though. If they know enough about the Sonichu, they should know the fucking lore and they should understand that it's legit. Right?
Because we were live streaming at the event, so we were live while it's happening. So they walk up, they're wearing a Sonichu, and so like I'm live somewhere on YouTube telling kids to get the fuck off. Like no.
Oh my god,
I was not willing to risk it, dude. I do this full time. If I lose this, I gotta go back to work in IT. Fuck that. Like
Junebug may cry saying, "I dropped My Hero and only read some chapters." Out of order after the Yakuza arc. Listen, I highly recommend finishing My Hero. My Hero is really good from start to finish. And like I said, the part where they were saying it was like the weakest was, I call it Vigilante Deku, when he's just running around like a fucking madman trying to draw Shigaraki out. To me, that's some of my favorite parts because you just get to see Deku at his strongest. And that's when he truly masters all of the other shit because he forces himself to. And also the artwork just looks awesome because he looks like a fucking demon the whole time. Boizera saying Sonic Forces has a great story but awful gameplay. Fight me on that take. I thought Forces was good.
I'll fight you on that. Forces has an idea of a good story that it doesn't commit to because it won't actually allow Sonic stuff to grow up and be dark like it was in the 90s and early 2000s.
It's true. That's true. Was there saying Sonic Boom was the best Sonic show? Proving wrong. Sonic Boom was funny.
Sonic Boom's hilarious. It's a great comedy show.
Seriously.
Sonic X is the best Sonic show, though.
Because Sonic X is an anime, though. That's
exactly. It's an anime that more or less pulls from the games the same way that the movies are doing. Like, it loosely follows the games. So, yeah, Sonic X is the best.
Well, to me, I find it funny. Like, Sonic X takes a Transformers model where you're not just going to leave Sonic alone. You have to pair him with the human, right? So it's like with Transformers, you're not going to watch Optimus and them go on their own. Maybe later, like Cybertron and stuff, we'll watch. But establishing them, it was always the humans that they needed to help.
Yeah, because the kids identify as like you're watching Sonic X and you're like 9 years old. You see the 9-year-old boy, like, I could also be friends with Sonic. Like, there's that fantasy element to it.
Exactly. So, was there saying, not gonna lie, I find it funny how the gods in God of War 2 and 3 call Kratos mortal with the energy of a slur because it is a slur.
Yeah, it is.
It is a slur. Caveat Ty's getting mad at me saying just right, and he can say that because he's an author that's had 4 books under his belt. So yeah, he's mad at me. Caveat Ty saying, yes, Toto was great and a great guest. Yeah, we gotta have Christian back on. Caveat saying Sneakers is a great movie. Matt Stanford, my favorite movie of Robin Williams is 1 Hour Photo. It's a really good movie.
1 Hour Photo is
so fucking creepy in that film. And it's like, it's good to see guys like Adam Sandler, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, when they do these more serious roles. Like the number 23 is one of the better like psychological movies I have seen. It's
something
so
referenced all the time. Truman Show.
Truman Show. Truman Show. We live
very
in the
psychologically effective.
We live in the Truman Show. We are all being fucking watched now. Quite literally, everything is watching. So we are in the Truman Show, everybody. Caveat Ty saying, I don't care for Robin Williams comedy that much either. The thing with Robin Williams, you have to watch his stand-ups 4 times.
Yeah, I love
because you laugh.
I'm a huge fan of his stand-up. It's just his like. Some actors, their stylings and whatnot, in my opinion, don't translate well to film. Like Will Ferrell is great on SNL in little 5-minute doses. I fucking can't stand him in most movies because I don't think his comedy style carries an hour and a half, 2-hour movie.
I think he's better, and this is like, I do like his movies. Don't get me wrong. He's better when he's not the main character, though. Like,
agree. I like him in Zoolander as like
great in Zoolander.
Yes.
Great in Old School, right? Like Frank the Tank is fucking awesome. I remember being in college. We were all Frank the Tank. It was a thing. So yeah, like you said, Zoolander, he's awesome. Caveat Ty saying Pure Luck is a good movie where Martin Short has terrible luck. Yeah, Pure Luck's a great movie. Martin Short's awesome.
I've never seen Pure Luck, but when it comes to underrated comedians doing underrated movies, Opportunity Knocks with Dana Carvey is an excellent one. And
Dana Carvey is just the most underrated comedian.
Dana Carvey he's not the best comedian because that goes to probably Norm, but Dana Carvey is my favorite comedian.
His show, him and whatchamacallit, you mentioned him before.
David Spade. Yeah, him and David Spade have a talk show.
Their podcast is fucking hilarious.
I listened to a few episodes. I really like it. I haven't sat there and actually gone through the catalog, but yeah, him and David Spade, and they've also got great chemistry. They so much so that they did Mars show together. Like Bill Maher, because you know Bill Maher's got his own podcast and where he's on guest. Yeah, Bill Maher, Dana Carvey, and David Spade was a fun episode, especially because like Dana is notably older than David Spade. And so Bill Maher, Dana Carvey talking about these old like 60s comedians, and fucking David Spade just sitting there. He's like, y'all know I'm 30 years younger than you, right?
See, David Spade got such a raw deal in 8 Simple Rules because obviously John Ritter passes away in 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. And it was a massive sitcom. And it was actually really good. But then when he passes away, they didn't end the show. They switched gears and they brought David Spade in as like the cousin or uncle or something. And he was actually great in the show.
David Spade is incredibly underrated, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there's him. Yeah, him and Dana Carvey are just so good as well. They were 2 people that also translated to the screen. Their comedy did translate because they were good actors.
Not Master of Disguise, though. That movie fucking sucks.
I love Master of Disguise.
David loves
I know
Master of
it's
Disguise.
I know all of its faults, but I love it for some reason.
The thing is, though, it's terrible, but it's so quotable. Like you will quote the shit out of Master of Disguise.
Yeah, I'll agree. It's very quotable. Like, and I'm blanking on the name. There's another movie Dana Carvey did, which I think is actually really good. But he plays a private detective who has amnesia, and his amnesia kicks in every night, and so but it's blanking on me. I can't remember the name of it. And it's so good. I recommend everybody watch it, except for I can't fucking remember the name.
David, go research Dana Carvey Amnesia Detective movie.
Yeah.
That's your job right now. Blazera saying Jason Momoa was out of place as fuck and it worked really well. Yeah, in Minecraft, he played the role well.
Clean
and
slate.
I think
Yes, clean slate. Thank you. It is clean slate.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was a good movie. That movie used to be like on like TBS and TNT on like Saturday mornings.
Probably, yeah.
Fucking
It's
randomly.
one of those movies. It's like it is a completely serviceable comedy that is completely carried by the fact that Dana Carvey is a really good comedian, so it works.
And I've said this before. I think David agrees, and I think you'll agree. We will know when our culture and everything is back when we start to get the stupid funny movie back. We don't
Agreed.
have the stupid funny movie. The last one that was a good attempt at it was Blockers, and that movie fell short because it was with John Cena, and it was a bunch of parents trying to cock block their kids from having a party. It was like prom night, and it was a bunch of like parents trying to like interfere in their kids to not have sex at prom. And
that's funny. I've not seen this,
and it wasn't great. It wasn't great, but it was the last attempt. And it was like funny because it was like the irony of we're not going with the high schoolers route. We're not doing super bad. We're going with the parents, the middle-aged, remembering what prom night was about and trying to prevent our kids from fucking on their first. Like
that's super funny.
And
my kid was a prom night baby, so I could probably relate to that. Like,
and like I said, it wasn't great, but I think that for me, like really thinking back, that was the last true attempt. Like Broken Lizard doesn't make shit anymore, and because their last attempt at Super Troopers, which they're making a Super Troopers 3, which they really
are. When I went to the theater the other day for
2 was not good though. I
took my kid to a showing, one night only showing of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and she loved it. It was awesome, by the way.
So good.
Yeah. 12-year-old got good taste, but yeah, they're advertising for Super Troopers 3, and I was like, really? They're okay.
So here's the real question: Indy or Han Solo?
Oh, Indy all day. Like the Indiana Jones trilogy and the Evil Dead trilogy are my two favorite movie trilogies of all time.
Evil Dead's really good too. Yeah, you have good taste here.
So
Caveat Ty saying, I did see that Leon is on Critic List. I followed him. He got on a ways back, and it isn't now. And it isn't now starting to grow. It is now starting to go. There you go.
Yeah, I've not. And Blaine's been throwing some shade. And obviously a friendly way, throwing some shade about the fact that I've not been on Critic List in a long time. When I started my channel, I was doing a lot of movie reviews and whatnot. I mostly cover news, but I'd also be doing movie reviews. And my movie reviews, like, just they always did. Aside from a Godzilla -1 review, they always did dog shit numbers. And when you're trying to do this full time, like you know, so I would use Critic List when it first popped up. Because it was like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to like structure the idea of how I'm going to go with my review. But since I stopped doing reviews, I also stopped going on Critic List and writing reviews. And so I was talking on X like a couple weeks ago after seeing Backrooms about, I just gave a paragraph or two of my thoughts on Backrooms. It's like, man, this is so great. It looked real good on Critic List. It's like, I know I need to get back to using Critic List. All my friends are using Critic List. It's just like, I stopped doing movie reviews. I've stopped taking the time to go to Critic List. And I've probably got 12, 13 movies I should be.
I haven't used it in a minute, and I'll come out because I've watched a decent amount of stuff, and I'll go to Alex and I'll be like, man, I like this for this reason. Alex like, why the fuck aren't you talking about it on Critic List?
And I'm also guilty. Like for me, it's like I just forget to go throw it on there, right? Like my goal tonight is after the show to go on and put my review for Minecraft, right? Because I liked Minecraft. And Critic List is great. And Rollin, that's where
their system is excellent. That's another like
that's where I go
to. Kind of a victim of being too good because like I'm super fucking autistically OCD about like, oh, you've got like 12 different boxes of categories. And I want to put like a paragraph.
Me too.
If you look at the reviews I have on Critic List, most of them are really well thought out. Whether you agree or disagree, they're really well thought out and long. And it's like my Gentlemanly Warfare one I think was like really long.
See, I did my review for Toy Story 5 because we went out and saw that. And I realized that when I was writing it, I was putting a shit ton about the plot, and it was like the first weekend the movie was out, so I had to like put spoilers around it.
Yes,
because but it was like I don't know if you saw Toy Story 5. I saw it. I have an 8 and 6-year-old daughter.
Okay, this is where we are going to disagree. I am of the opinion, and I say this unironically. Whenever I say it, people think I'm joking. This is not a joke. I think that the Toy Story trilogy is the most perfect trilogy of all time, even more so than Lord of the Rings. And so I do not. I saw Toy Story 4. I hate it. Even if 5 is good, I don't acknowledge it.
5 isn't good
because the original trilogy is the single most perfect trilogy ever made.
The only thing I'll disagree, the ending. beginning to end story is perfect. It ends perfectly with Andy passing it on to Bonnie. I wasn't as huge of a fan of the actual movie of 3. The movie was good. I think 2 is significantly better. I think 3 is a little bit of a step down.
So 2 is actually arguably my favorite as well. I don't tell this story very often because it sounds like super self-aggrandizing and whatnot. I usually just let people take shit on me when I say it's better than the Lord of the Rings, but you guys didn't do it, so I'm gonna tell the story. So Toy Story 3 came out when I was
Which is funny. Lord of the Rings is my favorite book. I'm a Middle-earth fucking nerd. I'm giving you a chance.
Anytime I say this, it's like I love the Lord of the Rings. By the way, I show my kid Lord of the Rings movies. She loves them. If Toy Story's a 10, Lord of the Rings is a 9.9. I just think there's a couple of small things that the Toy Story trilogy does better. But when this is this story's subjective. It has nothing to do with why I think it's a better trilogy. I think it's a fun story. But when Toy Story 3 came out, I think I was 16 or so years old. And I've been a huge Toy Story fan my entire life. I adored those movies. My aunt says my first word was Woody. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what she said. That was my first word.
Now, were you describing something as well going on, like as a young kid, like Woody? Like
yeah, right. But when that movie came out, it was super rainy that day, and I went in full Woody, like a full Woody cosplay.
That's awesome.
And you know that scene when you're finding out Lotso's backstory and it's like all storming and shit.
Yep.
Well, the storm knocked out the power in our theater. And so like the movie went down and then went down. And since it was Toy Story 3, there was a bunch of little kids there. So I got up dressed as Woody and started telling me it was part of the show and everything's gonna be okay and all that. And so like I will, while it does not affect my review of why I think the Toy Story is the best trilogy, it's like that movie will always have a memory to me that's like, what are the fucking odds? It's a thunderstorm scene in the movie. Thunderstorm happens. I'm already dressed as Woody. It's like something out of a fucking movie.
So I'll tell you this: if you do ever go see 5, don't expect to have Woody and Buzz be a factor.
That's another thing I've heard.
It's
is
a girl boss
in
movie.
it. And Toy Story was always about the relationship between Woody and Buzz. Without that, like that is it hurts just hearing that's a thing.
The relationship between Woody and Buzz, which they try to rekindle the first one and make them argue instead of being best friends and leaders together. Number 1. Number 2. The way I did last week, I did the episode about how she's a girl boss. I do like my whole first hour of the fucking show is about that. The way they start off with Woody is they have Jesse taking over because obviously Woody's gone with Bo at 4, which I was actually fine with 2. Like 4 wasn't a good movie, but that ending of Woody going off with Bo, finishing what they started in 1 and 2, okay, cool, whatever. You gave Woody his love. But they have him come in and Jesse is having trouble with the new tech and she uses Woody for wisdom. Like she calls him and she's talking to him to try and figure things out. If that was going to be his role throughout the movie, that he was the guy that has already seen it and he's going to guide Jesse as the new leader and the new sheriff, fine. They bring him in and he's a retard. Okay. Number 1, he's like always 3 steps behind Jesse. Jesse's perfect. She does everything right. She knows all. She's the leader. And on top of that, Buzz is just a fucking simp cuck that plays a feminine role. He's a simp cuck that is the feminine part of their relationship. And in the end of the movie, where Bonnie's weird ass has another weird friend named fucking Blaze, and their relationship is because they're fucking weird, they have a wedding with Jesse and Buzz, and Buzz is in a fucking kilt, basically wearing a dress, and Jesse's like the dude. Jesse proposed to him and pulls him in to kiss him.
About this movie, like, and my buddy, not good. Everyone I've talked to has been like, "Oh, it's not as good as the original 3.
It's fucking terrible. I hated it.
It's fine." And then my buddy Erwin, who's like super into the esoteric conspiracy theory shit that I am, he's like, "No, if you know anything about like social engineering or the deep state, this movie is social engineering for children. The movie. That's the way he has described it."
And the thing is, too, it's like the initial message of keep your kids off of tech because it's dangerous. Not a bad one, right? Because tech is dangerous, but it's. The thing is, we find out Bonnie's a weird fucking kid in the 4th movie. And this one just takes it to the new level.
My cat's trying to knock my controller off my desk.
That's fine. Fucking... We're all for animals just being fucking animals here. But you find out just how, like, she just continues to be weird. She's the only one that hasn't matured for her age. She has social issues. Like, she's not shy. She's just fucking weird. And it's like... And I'm fine. I'm fucking weird. I'm a weeb, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I have no problem with weird people. But it's like just the way they couch it and the whole entire framing of it, where tech bad isn't a bad thing. Like, but it's like the parents are shit parents. They just give her a fucking tablet and she's already able to have it by her side 24/7 in her room charging. It's like my kids both have fucking Kindle Fires. They barely see them. They're in a fucking thing and they have to ask for them. They can't just take them. So there's parts of it. I hated it. I thought it was just a bad movie. I don't consider it Toy Story, and Jesse's a pain in the ass. So,
all right, cool. My man, we're on the team. I don't even need to see the movie. I'm just going to take what you and Erwin has to say as a grain of salt. That's gonna be my review.
Not good at all. Not good. Honestly, you'll watch it and you'll see it, and you'll probably see more because the more I think about it, and the more I watch it, there's so much shit just laced in there. It's so fucking bad. But Boyzero over here saying it's the same reason I will never watch The Amazing Digital Circus because the fandom is interesting.
It's funny you say that because when I was saying that earlier about communities ruining shit, that's the one I was thinking of because I love The Amazing Digital Circus. I think The Amazing Digital Circus is really good. But my God, is the fan base fucking insufferable. Like the idea to take I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream and the Cain and Abel story of the Bible, put them together, twist it into a dark comedy. I think there's so many great ideas there, and I truly do. I do think it ended too quickly. I think that episode 9 probably should have been 2 episodes because the ending feels rushed. But I really like Amazing Digital Circus. The fan base, though, fucking nutsoid.
That's like the oh God, there was another comic manga thing that the creator died and they're keeping it going, and the fandom is just all about shipping, and it's fucking terrible. RB. RW.
Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby.
Ruby?
The Ruby fan base is fucking terrible.
Yeah, Ruby fan. It's why I never got into Ruby. Actually, is because of their fan base being just schizos.
And it's all like it's based like it's all like fairy tale shit, like a bunch of like fairy tale characters and stuff coming in, and it's like it seems pretty dope.
Well,
and the concept seems good.
Well, and that's why it is kind of imperative to have a fandom that's not absolutely insane. Because the thing is, even if you don't mean to, you kind of end up cultivating it if you write your story 100%. A certain way and you make it look a certain way. Yeah. And then people are just not going to want to be involved in that shit. Because the thing is, when you watch something, yeah, you could just really not look about what other people say about it, but most of the time you're going to end up seeing
if you
what
really, if you enjoy it, then like you want to share that, like, oh man, exactly. I want my people to talk to. I want that. That's how we all end up finding the communities that we're in doing this YouTube game. It's like, we're into shit, we're into nerdy stuff, we want to talk about it and whatnot. But by the same token, man, if you out there acting like a schizo and you're giving the whole community a bad name, that's why we're so big on gatekeeping. Like, gatekeeping,
I'm all about. Listen, and me and David have this conversation politically. I am all about gatekeeping now. Like, I want to create my own fucking party and tell the Republicans to fuck off, replace the Republicans, and gatekeep the shit out of that party in terms of leadership. Anybody could join because whatever, the party's going to grow, but leadership, there's going to be a fucking litmus test. You should not be allowed to fuck these people.
I bet I'm more hardline than you in that regard. I'm of the, because people are like, oh, America is about like you can have, whatever ideas and whatnot. So I'm not infringing on the rights of others. Like, nah, Islam and communism are cancers, and you should not be allowed to be American if you're Islamic or if you're Muslim or communist. Like those two things. Like I'll take pretty much any other idea, but if you ascribe unironically to a belief system that lets you have sex with 9-year-old girls, or you're communist, which is you're forcing the procurement of other people's labor. Fuck you. Those are incompatible with Western society.
I was gonna say it's a little redundant.
See, I'm fully on board with communism. I have known many friends that are Muslim.
Someone clip that, please. I'm fully on board with communism. That'd be a great context.
That would be
got him.
Maybe I don't have a career here anyway, so maybe I'll get one. There we go. But I'll just go full on. I will grift full on to the left. And here's the thing: I would win because people on the right know what the left thinks better than the left. So it's like we could grift on the left so easy. But let's keep going here. Caveat Ty saying, I can't stand Will Ferrell on anything. See, Will Ferrell's good in some things. I will battle you there. He is funny in some things. Blazera saying, I don't care how much people tell me, oh, The Amazing Digital Circus is great. It just seems like, haha, we are losing our minds slowly. Hashtag relatable. BS made for like 14-year-old kids with mental health issues. Yeah. So,
and it was made by somebody with mental health issues because the person's a fucking tranny. It's like, it's that's why, when like talking about wokeness and whatnot, there's nothing in that show I consider like now because it's never there with the intent. By the way, this is not me trying to sell you on the show. This is me just trying to differentiate what is and isn't woke. Nothing in that show seems like it's being done for the purpose of like agenda first or anything to that. Like the story, the inversion, I Had No Mouth on my screen, like all of that, the character writing comes first. That stuff is in there, but it's like they weren't using it as a vehicle.
But that's okay.
That's why. That's why.
Because the reason that stuff is in there is because that is literally who Gooseworks is. Like,
right?
Like, and can't differentiate that when you're writing style because you don't know anything else.
And on top of that, I bring it up all the time. David's probably tired of me bringing it up, but Alice in Borderland, one of the main
I heard it's
characters,
really good. I need to watch it.
and it's great.
I
And
would
one of the
read it
main characters that
well.
has a huge impact for the whole story that you get introduced to is a male to female trans. And you find out, you hear their backstory, but it's not everything about their character to the
Mhm.
point where there's a whole bunch of comedy associated with this person where they'll end off chapters with him, her, or whatever, fucking with one of the male characters, like, you think I'm hot, like fucking around, like great writing. And it's, yes, they're
Isn't Alice
trans,
in
but
Borderland
that's not
also
the
an
whole
Asian
thing
show?
about them.
Because
Huh?
isn't Alice in Borderland also an Asian show?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
a
a manga.
It was a manga.
It's a manga that they
Oh, I
turned
didn't know it was a
into.
manga
I
first.
would,
I
I
thought
would,
it was
recommend,
like
I would
Asian.
recommend reading it. The
Yeah,
show is
read it.
good, but I would recommend reading it.
The show
Okay.
doesn't go all the way through, right? Doesn't it end at the hotel?
So,
Didn't they not finish it?
I didn't watch the second season. The show for the first 4 episodes blends things together, and it's fine. The last 4 episodes is the beach arc perfect. It's basically 1-to-1.
And the
I didn't
beach
watch
arc
the
is
second season, but the
beach arc's
manga,
one of the best arcs around.
the manga
easy.
is really good because it has the through line story following the main character, but there's also side stories
they
about
do
the
really
things
well.
happening in the universe that
Yeah.
that might connect a little bit, but it doesn't include the main character, it includes other characters.
I have to go back and read the end again because it's such a mind fuck.
Oh, it's
The
so good.
final chapters are such a mind fuck. But
It's
anyway,
so good.
but Boyzera coming in saying, like, I just can't imagine I'll be into it. Hey, maybe, listen, you never know. You might go back and give it. Boyzera saying, I never went to my prom and I ended up having an awful graduation, but I won't trouble you with the sob story. I mean,
Hey, at least you graduated, unlike me, so there's that.
there you go. I went to my prom in a fucking minivan, so there you go. we took my parents' minivan because I'm like, I'm not paying for a fucking limo. So here's
I
three
went
couples
in,
in fucking penguin suits and giant ass dresses pulling out of a old early 2000s fucking town and country. So there we go.
I went in a 2000, I think it was a 2000 Oldsmobile Alero, with
Nice.
like nice slacks and whatnot, but like an Indiana Jones style dress shirt and a fucking Indiana Jones fedora. My the gal that would go on to be my first ex-wife was not happy with our prom memories.
Hey, listen,
I'm gonna be real.
those Oldsmobile Aleros were fucking tanks.
I
Those things
love
could take
that
a
car.
beating. They were great cars. They were big body sedans, but they were awesome.
We eventually lost it after it was our very first night out, like after our daughter was born. It's been like 6 months, 4 months, something like that. And my grandparents were like, hey, we'll take the kiddo for the night. You go have a date night or whatever. I don't even remember what movie we saw, but like we were 2 blocks away from my grandparents' house. Like we see it off in the distance. So we drive through a green light. Some fucking bitch in a red Jeep ran a red light and T-boned us. That's how we finally lost that car. Cause I loved that damn car.
It was such a tank too, and it was like one of the rare Oldsmobiles that didn't look like a fucking Oldsmobile, right? Like Oldsmobiles became the Buick route for a while, where they just look like old. Like the Alero was a legitimate comeback attempt for them, and it was a good one. So no, I never had one. My friends did, but I fucking loved the Aleros. They were nice looking too.
Yeah, I loved that car. My first car was a '94 Beretta. I loved that car as well. I prefer to own stick shifts. My current car is also stick shift. That way, women can't drive.
I have my wife can drive mine because she drove. So my
girlfriend says she can drive a stick shift. I've never seen her do it. She's like, you say
I watched
it.
my wife. She had a fucking stick shift Xterra. That thing was a
Nice.
tank, and she was a beast. I now have a fucking 5-speed Nissan Versa. It sounds faster than it is. That thing goes nowhere, but it's fun to just still drive a stick. It's fantastic. Caveat ties. I'm a big indie fan. Who the fuck isn't? Boyzera saying Art Fight finally started today. I've never seen Art Fight.
No,
Caveat saying I'll keep my reviews very simple. More than Indiana Jones over there. Boyzera saying finish my profile and stuff, and it all looks good, but I got to finish a drawing on my OC, so there is 2 options to pick from instead of just one. Oh, I guess Art Fight's a competition. Go fucking win, Boyzera. Boyzera saying I feel like Indiana Jones is one of the few movies you can actually keep making, and it'll be pretty good. Because he did the one with Shia and it was bad, the Crystal Skull, and then the Phoebe Waller-Cates one.
Yeah, sorry, you go for it first, Dave, and then I'll give my thoughts.
I was gonna say we also just said the latest one, Dial of Destiny, which
This
I didn't
is my
see.
least favorite movie ever made.
Dial of Dysentery. I'll go with fucking what Gary said.
Here's the thing with Crystal Skull. It's actually not a bad movie. The thing is, the first 3 are so fucking perfect. And when you got 3 movies in a franchise that are A+ movies, and then you give us a C, that C looks like an F.
Listen, but here's the thing though. I refuse to say it's a good movie because I am basing it on the franchise, right? You set a level,
right?
So that movie then becomes bad. Like standalone, fine, but it is a bad movie in the franchise.
Involved in making it. I mean, like,
well, that's why also I'm not a fan. People like the Hobbit movies. I didn't like the Hobbit movies.
I love it. I actually like the Hobbit more than Lord of the Rings in terms of the books. I think that, like, I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I love the Hobbit book. I read it in 3rd grade.
The book is great too,
dude. And so seeing what they did with those movies, it pains me.
Yeah, I did not like the movies. I did not like the fact that they drew it out to 3 movies. It's unnecessary.
The book's like barely over 300 pages or something. Like, there's no reason to have that as 3 movies. Also all the shit like, well, we added stuff from the Silmarillion. I don't give a fuck. I want the Hobbit.
Yeah, and just make a fucking. And here's the thing: you want to add stuff from the Silmarillion. It's hard because it's not a very streamlined thing, right? Silmarillion,
but Silmarillion reads like an encyclopedia. I read once. It's a
Bible.
Like I'm glad I read it. I will never do it again. It reads like a fucking encyclopedia. That's
if you can get past the creation story, which is hard because that creation story for the fucking Eru Iluvatar, it is. You're just reading. It's like reading the beginning of the Bible creation. You know, you have the Valinor, the Valar, the Anur, like all of them, and you're reading about every single one. The battle with Melkor and all. Like it's a lot to take in, and then it really gets into the story of the Silmarils. Once you get into the full story, it then just reads like a regular Tolkien. But that first third of fucking Silmarillion is
chunk
heavy.
Of the book.
It's so heavy. It's like a third of it. It's so heavy. You got to get past that. And you need but in order to be a true nerd, you do have to know that history, right? Because then you have to understand that Sauron really isn't that much of a fucking bad guy in the whole grand scheme of things.
Not.
He's kind of a pussy in the whole grand scheme.
Malcor, I think his name is Malcor, right?
Melkor, yeah.
No, yeah, it's 10 times the evil motherfucker. Like,
he's the fallen angel. He's the fallen angel that tried to go against the music of Iluvatar. Like, it's
Morgoth was a fucking harder villain than Sauron. Like,
yeah. No, Sauron was one of the generals, but he wasn't the guy. Like, and the thing is, but that's why we're in the 3rd age, and by the 3rd age, people had forgotten the early stuff. So, but yeah, we can nerd out all day here. So, caveat I saying Indiana Jones is the best trilogy. It's up there. You can argue that. You can certainly argue it. I think you can put an argument
Indiana Jones more as a movie trilogy than Lord of the Rings, but I think Lord of the Rings are better made movies. Like, just from like the objective
cinematically.
Like when you like camera movement, things like there's. Again, I like Indiana Jones more, but like it's so hard to find flaws in the Lord of the Rings. There are some, but very, very few. And I can point to legitimate flaws in specifically Temple of Doom.
They did things back then with Lord of the Rings that cinematically they haven't been matched still.
Mm-hmm.
And Zelda is about to get a real big comparison because they're in New Zealand in the same area.
It's so funny you say that because the whole reason I've been telling people from the moment they announced that the Zelda movie is going to be live action, it's like, good, because I want a family-oriented Lord of the Rings, but that's what it needs to be. Like, the live-action Zelda needs to be, again, Lord of the Rings in terms of like its lore, its world building, all that, but with like the production of something like Harry Potter. If you can give me that is what I want from a Zelda movie. And I'd rather see that in live action than CGI.
Here's a big question: is Link allowed to talk?
So, I'm two schools of thought on this. In lore, Link can talk. The reason he doesn't for gameplay purposes, in lore, Link can actually talk. That being said, and I think it actually be a very interesting route to not have him talk. But I also think they're going to do that in the kids' movie. So here's my compromise: I want Link to be stoic. He can talk because canonically he can. Link isn't a mute. He can talk in the movie, but I want him to be stoic.
I would love it if they pull what they did in the games, though, and the only time Link talks is when he whispers and relays it. Like, I'd be okay with that. But I don't know. For me, I don't want Link to say a fucking word throughout any of these movies. I just want him to just be that.
If I were the one making them, I wouldn't. I would have the actor do everything based on his facial gestures, his hand movements, things like that, and like
give me some hi-yas.
Right? Yeah,
shit.
When he's running and jumping through temples, you can give sound effects. If that's what I would do if I were making the movie, because I also think that'd be a very interesting way to make a kids movie. I also don't think that they trust kids, and I certainly don't trust Hollywood to do that because that's what I would do.
I mean, again, I point back to WALL-E all the time. WALL-E's one of my favorite movies, and for a straight hour, our main character says nothing. And you just hear music.
Furious, I was talking about earlier, is now granted that's not a kids movie. One of the characters is actually a mute. And so, like, one of these, and his wants, his needs, his backstory, his like everything about him as a character, because it's all done via the way he moves and the way the movie sets the story around him. We don't need him to talk.
But you can't be better than Echo, because Echo was the greatest character of all time.
I forgot about that.
Everyone forgot about that fucking show.
I only saw the first, I think it was 2 MCU shows, the WandaVision and Captain America Winter Soldier, and I dipped out. I was like, nah, these both sucked, so I didn't see.
I liked the part of WandaVision that people hated. I liked the beginning when they were.
I know that's what I like as well. Like the first half was in black and white
fun.
and stuff. I actually love that. It's when that color starts coming back and starts becoming more. And that's why I don't like. And I thought I liked WandaVision at first, and when it wrapped up a couple weeks later, my buddy was like, "Yeah, so I'm not watching WandaVision. What'd you think of it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, it was good. I liked it." And I was sitting there trying to think why, and I was like, I couldn't give him legitimate reasons as to why beyond the aesthetics of like the black and white. So I was like, I just finished the show 2 weeks ago, and I already forgot the vast fucking majority of the actual story. Maybe it's not actually that good.
That's just like.
Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say that's just like when Alex watched the first season of Avatar, the live action.
No, I wasn't even done. I was like halfway through.
Yeah, you were like halfway through it, and I asked you about it, and you said, "Oh, it's pretty good." And you mentioned some things. I just started asking you small questions, and then all of a sudden you started hating it. You were like, "Oh no, this actually sucks."
I was caught up in the fact that they captured the world of the Avatar perfectly. Like it looked beautiful, but then you give me Fat Azula, and I'm like, I'm out. Like Fat Azula is what did it for me. Like, especially in Asian culture, you're not having a fat princess. Like that's not happening. Like she will be disowned. And there was a lot. Azula and Zuko, they never gave Zuko a chance to actually establish himself as a bad guy, because for all of book 1, Zuko was the threat. And and basically Iroh was there to guide Zuko, and you started to see Iroh's sage ways and things like that. And once you find out at the end of book 1 that Azula exists and she's more ruthless, and that Zuko's actually just a little boy in the end, just trying to get daddy's affection again. And Azula's like, well, fuck you. I'm the younger sister. I will kill you as well. And then you're like, wait, what the shit? Okay, he's not that bad. We got to go here. But they bring in Azula on like the 3rd episode. And it's like useless. So, but Bizarre. I feel like people are so focused on continuing the one story that, quote, made you popular. But in reality, you got to let a story know when it's done, and you can make a new story entirely and use your name. I agree with that. Stories
that's
need
what
to
Toriyama did. Like people talk about, Dragon Ball Z. That was Dr. Slump was one of the most popular manga in the history of Japanese manga.
Fucking funny.
You realize how rare it is for manga to make you a multimillionaire.
Yep.
Dr. Slump made Toriyama a multimillionaire, and then he went and did Dragon Ball. It's like, dude didn't even need to do that. He could have coasted on his multimillionaire Dr. Slump money.
And people forget Dragon Ball was a comedic spoof on Journey to the West. It was not meant to be this big sci-fi thing. It was a comedic spoof.
They even go and meet Arale in Dragon Ball.
The one in Super, the manga in Super where Vegeta meets Arale, and he.
Do they do that in the manga as well?
Yeah,
I remember that episode, but I didn't know the manga covered.
It was so much better in the manga, and she just beats the shit out of all of them. And Vegeta's like, "I am never coming into a gag manga again." Like he says it at the end, like, "This is the last time I'm in a gag manga." Like, and then I think they do it again later. Like, it's awesome. But that's the thing. People don't understand. Like, and that's why if you don't watch the original Dragon Ball, you don't get it. It was a comedic spoof on Journey to the West. That's why he meets Oolong. That's why he meets Ox King. That's why he has the Kintun, and he has the Niambo. Like those are all things that Sun Wukong had, and Goku is a play on Sun Wukong, Son Goku. So it's like, if you don't understand that, you don't get Toriyama. And that's why sometimes if you just start in Z and then you get those off-color jokes, you don't understand where they're coming from.
Right.
It's because that's who he is. He's more comfortable writing comedy than he is anything else.
And that's one thing. Like, people have mixed opinions on Dragon Ball Bridge. I think Dragon Ball Bridge is actually incredibly funny. But like, there's this scene where Cell is fighting Trunks, and he beats the shit out of him, and Trunks is like, "Why? I don't get it." He's like, "Cause you're green. By your age, Goku had done." He lists off a bunch of Goku feats. He's even put a rabbit on the moon. And Trunks like, "Did you just make that last one up?" And the reason that joke is so clever is because that's making fun of the people that never read or watched Dragon Ball to know what that's a reference to.
Yeah, and the fact that too, like, Toriyama makes fun of himself because he forgot who Launch was. And when the fans called him out, he eventually brought it back in a few chapters later. Like, where's Launch? Oh, she has
a bar or something like that. I forgot.
He puts her at a bar in the fucking Majin Buu thing, just a throwback. And Toriyama says, like, why are you doing some things? Oh, because I forgot. Like, and I think too is like, why did Goku never grow his tail back? Because I forgot they could. Like, he flat out said, like, I forgot I made him do that. Like,
Toriyama is such a it takes a lot of skill and talent, and most writers can't do this, to be a fly by the seat of your pants writer. Toriyama did that very well, to the point where it's like you wouldn't know that's what he was doing if it wasn't such common knowledge and well known, because he is actually really good at building on his world and characters. But shit slips through the cracks, absolutely.
He was just a meme. If the memes were around, Toriyama was a meme of a.
Well, just as a writer, he could do so much randomly off the top of his head, but as a designer, just a character designer, that's where he really shines. Like, that's where it's perfect. Like,
oh my God.
You don't find something better than like Frieza or Cell.
There's a reason why Dragon Quest is so fucking popular, right? Because it's all Toriyama designs, and even to the point where if you go back and you read Sandland was so fucking good, and that's where you get the book.
I think that's the only Toriyama work I'm not familiar with beyond like the cursory stuff. So I need to get the manga. I need to get the game, because I'm very interested in Sandland.
It's good, and that's where you get Dabura's design, because Dabura is the demon's dad in that book. And you see him. You see Dabura there. And
really? I didn't know. So
he's the king of the underworld.
Most of his stuff is interconnected, like, Arale, Nekomajin. I thought Sandland was the one thing that wasn't. So
no, Dabura's in it, and that's where Dabura's design comes from.
Damn, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. No, Dabura's all, and like you see, like, Dabura's a badass, but also they reconnect that in Daima. They reconnect that Sandland lore in Daima, because Dabura's dad and Dabura was the king, and so was his father. Like, it's all like Toriyama was a genius about connecting all this type of stuff. The things that he forgot and then remembered, he figures out how to bring them back. Like,
right.
He's like, and even his retcons too. Like, he retcons some things in Daima. Like, okay, first Piccolo was a demon, then he was a slug. Oh, wait. We find out Namekians went down to they lived in the demon world.
They were demons, and they were from the demon realm. And
yeah. So technically, he's a demon and also a slug. Like,
Daima did this thing that, like, it happens very on. It's like in the first or second episode, when they all get shut down to kids, and Goku's trying to fight. He's just like shadow boxing, and he's fucking up hardcore. He's like, I've been an adult for so long, I have forgotten what it's like to fight in the child of a body. Oh, I need to go get the power pole. Like, it shows Goku's genius. He's like, okay, how do I mitigate this combat situation? It's like, it goes to show, like, no, he's not just some dumbass. Like, I really like the writing in Daima.
Yeah, no, I thought Daima was really, really well done. And again, it gave us our cookies, right? It gave us Vegeta Super Saiyan 3. It gave us a really, like, I love the version of Super Saiyan 4.
I like his version of Super Saiyan 4 a lot.
Because people, like, they made fun of how big his hands are. He's like, he's in gorilla mode. Like, he's partially a monkey there. Like, I love the way he does and I love the way they did the throwback to the Majin Buu thing, where he is showing all the different transformations. And they give 3 its credence, because that transformation of 3 is as epic a transformation you're going to see. It's so good. But then when he goes to 4 and cutting to Vegeta's reaction, where he's just like, son of a bitch. Like, I just became 3, and now this motherfucker is showing that he can go beyond. Like,
and his signature comedy is, so it's like, when Bulma's like, stop fighting right now, or we will never take a bath together again. And Vegeta on a dime, he's like, Kakarot, you're up. It's like, dude, that's such Toriyama humor. And I could be wrong, but I think that the upcoming games, Xenoverse 3, was the last thing Toriyama worked on before he passed. So I can't wait for the Xenoverse 3 game.
Well, and on top of that, though, I was seeing that Toyotaro is working closely with Sasuke Toriyama. Because Sasuke Toriyama was one of the main people for Superhero. Good. He really was a big driving force for Superhero in a lot of the writing. So Sasuke's actually going to be involved. I don't know how heavy, but I know Toyotaro is keeping around, because Sasuke is a huge fan of Gohan, hence why Superhero went in the direction it did. Because he was so critical of the fact that Akira went away from Gohan because of the fan response. So he was like, no, we want to bring Gohan back. So again, technically Gohan's the strongest person in the universe again, because if you go to the last manga,
he is the only one that got the dub with his new form, because Ultra Ego didn't get the dub, Ultra Instinct didn't get the dub,
Orange didn't get the dub.
Piccolo, the Orange Piccolo didn't, but Beast Mode Gohan got his fucking dub.
One-shot Cell Max, who they canonically said was stronger than anything they've ever faced.
Yes.
And he just shoots him, but it's fitting. It's a special beam cannon, right?
Yeah, I won't like that little I know it's like to be like, oh, hey, get you in the fields. He used Piccolo's move. Yeah, well, it worked on me. It did. It fucking worked on me. I was happy he used Piccolo's move.
It was either that, or if he would have just like sat there and powered up and just went like Masenko, like, that would have also been amazing.
See, I prefer it when Trunks uses the Masenko. It happens in the OG Broly movie. Trunks and Gohan show them on screen. They do this double Masenko. Yes. I was like, oh, Trunks is using his old mentor's move, but now his mentor's younger than him. It's such a cool moment.
That was a cool moment, but also Trunks can do everything because Trunks also shoots a Kamehameha. Like he does that as well in the Bio Brawly movie. They all line up. Trunks, Goten, and Krillin all shoot one, and it's like, what the fuck can't young Trunks do? Like, and they do a nice job in the superhero manga of not only aging them up, but giving them more of a role. Like it's much better because they basically take on the Saiyaman role that Gohan and Videl had in the manga. And it's really good. And it adds so much more to superhero. It does. But comments, I appreciate everyone that gave comments. We are not going to get to all of them. So maybe I will go back and look at these. Again, Sony all set. How's it going? Thank you for jumping in. We're going to be getting out of here though. Leon, I appreciate you coming on. This was a ton of fun. We got to like absolutely.
We got to do another one.
Yeah, no, this was a blast. Thank you. I had a great time. I don't usually do things on Wednesday. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I do a Wednesday show that it would be starting about an hour ago. It's not all the time thing. So yeah, beyond that, this is great. I would absolutely come back. This was a blast. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we just got to nerd out. So where can everyone find you, Leon? Where do you stream typically? Where are you at?
Almost every so I stream almost every day. Sundays, today's the first of the month, so I took today off. I don't usually do that, but Sundays, if we hit a certain goal on Friday, I stream. Otherwise, I take Sundays off. But 6 to 7 days a week, videos nearly every day. And yeah, it's just about different shows about different things. On Monday, we do just the news show, talking about what's going on, and then gaming, anime, all that. Tuesday, we do our conspiracy theory show. Yesterday, we talked about the conspiracy of the lost cosmonauts, where Russia sent cosmonauts up into space before we ever went into space, but they never made it back, and Russia covered it up. To Wednesday and Thursday are my lunch hour shows. We do it in the early afternoon or late morning, depending on where you are in America. Those are more political oriented shows. We talk a lot about politics, and we usually do like pop culture stuff near the end as a palate cleanser because politics are fucked right now.
Oh yeah.
And then Friday is the flagship show, Neon Leon, where me and Cinny and or Sevi
Cinny and Sevi. Nice.
Wild. What was that?
I said, hey, Cinny and Sevi. Listen, I watch. My main ones are like I'll watch like G&G. I'll watch Friday night. If you're on, I'll pop into yours and fucking lurk. And but I listen and watch a lot of side scrollers too. And I know Cindy's been on there a bunch.
Yes. Cindy's been on side. Yeah, Cindy's great. I adore her. Sevi is her and I. Do shit.
Yeah, Sevi's awesome too.
She's greatest girlfriend in the world. She's fucking awesome. She gives me Marvel Tokon battles a couple weeks ago. She said, hey, I know this game's coming out and you want to beat your friends at it. So here you go. Like,
it looks so good.
So well. Can't wait to play Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. And then Saturday, sometimes I do an analog horror show and sometimes I do something different. It kind of depends on where game night goes. So all in all, videos and streams every day. We have a wide variety of shit we do on the channel. It's not just anti-woke stuff, although I do a lot of that.
Awesome stuff. So yeah, it was a ton of fun talking to you. I'm happy we finally made this work.
Me too. Thank you.
Absolutely need to have you back on again because again we had an itinerary and I think I didn't look at it once.
We had things we're going to talk about, but it works for me.
But yeah, no. So everybody go, if you have not subscribed yet to Words of Paradise, go do that. If you like a little bit of what Leon's here, you can definitely go see more. Again, like I said, I lurk. If I'm on YouTube and I see he's on, I jump in. And there's a few people. Obviously, I'll go try and show some love to like Melee and stuff like that with James and Kay. But definitely, you're one of the people I go and love lurking on. So 100%.
I appreciate that.
Go over there, give a subscription. And if you like what you saw here, any of the newcomers that are usually Leon's people, don't be shy. Smash the like button. Subscribe to us as well. We're here once a week, so you won't have to compete as heavy with Leon being there forever. But we hang out once a week.
I never do anything on your guys' time slot. I mean, I hop in my buddy Zach's show sometimes, but again, so I've never done anything during this time slot. So my crew, if you need someone else to listen to, it's not like he's competing with me anyway.
And you're always welcome, Leon. If you're bored and you see that, hey, I want to talk to that guest too, fucking shoot me a message. I'll send you the link. We are a more the merrier type of crew. We don't give a shit.
My man, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So once again, we won't be here next week. We will be in mini Australia, as Blazera likes to call it. And so we will be hanging out down there in Florida, enjoying some family time. But the following week, we will be back. I have no idea if we have a guest or not. I'm not gonna lie. So
we'll
working on things. And if not, you'll just get my dumb ass with David ranting on some stuff, because that's what we do as well. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate everybody out there. Bye, y'all.
Deuces.
But I can't lie, I struggle with faith sometimes, and I ask why. I question his work some nights, I try to look up when I feel stuck. I try to look up, and I put my faith in him. The question of your faith builds perseverance, and perseverance must finish this race. So choose to love it now, be welcome and embrace it. Let him do his work, but you must work. Don't get complacent. Don't let that seed of greed plant its roots in your foundation. The house you build is nice, but underneath it you'll find Satan, and then you'll become a victim. You'll grow cold and start complaining. So choose to see the sun behind the clouds when it is raining. You choose to keep believing. You choose to keep on fighting. You choose when something's wrong, you do your best to make it right, and you choose to never quit. If there's darkness, there's a spot that you could brighten. I take my pain in words and try to offer good advice, and I do not have all the answers, I do not have all the fixtures, but if you keep it pushing, referring back to the scripture, there's a chance it will get better, and we live for that. He made you from his ribs, so know you're built for that. Yeah, we're built for that. But I can't lie, I struggle with faith sometimes, and I ask why. I question his work some nights, I try to look up